Bring your brushes, bring your palettes, gonna paint that sunset tonight.
Welcome to the 36th annual KVIE Art Auction. Join us all weekend for a celebration of Northern California's visual arts. Over 260 pieces will be auctioned off to the highest bidder, and you can be part of the action by watching and bidding on your favorite pieces. View the entire collection online at kvie.org/artauction. Then, when your favorite item appears, call 1-844-KVIE-ART to place your bid. Auction proceeds benefit the programs and services of your local PBS station, KVIE. So thank you for watching and bidding. And now, let the auction begin.
Show us.
Good evening and welcome to the 2017 KVIE Art Auction. I'm Kelly Rains here with Steve Sweeney, and this weekend we're celebrating 36 years of the Art Auction, a 3-day television event showcasing over 260 pieces of local artwork.
That's right, each of these pieces was graciously donated in support of the arts mission of KVIE Public Television, and they can be yours. All it takes is a phone call and a bid, and a beautiful piece of artwork might be on your wall as early as tomorrow.
Getting involved is easy to do. You can preview the entire collection online at kvie.org/artauction, or just stay tuned to KVIE this weekend. When you see something you like, call the number on your screen and place a bid.
We have volunteers here throughout the weekend who will help you bid on the art, and if you're the highest bidder, then it's yours.
So now let's get things started. Take a quick look at how easy it is for you to get involved in this year's auction, and thanks for watching.
Bidding on items in the art auction is quick and easy to do. First, explore the collection online at kvie.org/artauction, or keep your television tuned to KVIE. When a piece of art catches your eye, call 1-844-KVIE-ART and a volunteer will assist you. KVIE accepts all major credit cards for your art purchase, and a member of our accounting team will confirm your payment within 5 minutes of item sale. Thank you for being part of the KVIE Art Auction and for making art a part of your home today.
Stay tuned for the Award Winners Collection coming up next on the KVIE Art Auction. This category features the best of this year's auction, carefully selected by the jurors and curator. View all of the art featured in this year's auction at kvie.org/artauction.
And we already have our first caller. How cool. Hello and welcome to the 2017, can't believe it, KVIE Art Auction. I'm Rob Stewart, and over the next half hour, we'll be celebrating several of the award-winning artists in this year's fantastic collection. This portion of the KVIE Art Auction is sponsored by Crow and Decker. We thank you, Crow and Decker, and we would like to just tell them so much thanks for the commitment to supporting the arts right here on KVIE. Now here's an overview of the art that will be up for bid during the next half hour. It is all award-winning art, as we said. It is 1A. Our first piece is beautiful, and it's the way we're starting the whole show with Polly Dom's Atoms. This is acrylic on canvas, measuring 30 by 36. Choice Framing did this, as well as retail value of $600. It's a juror award for still life. Item 1B is Intersections. It's Bicycle Shadow by Karen Josephson. This is oil on board, measuring 21 by 21. Retail value is $600, and this is also a juror's award, this one for still life. Item 1C is John's Garden Bouquet 2 by John Jurisic. This is oil on canvas, measuring 22 by 28. The retail value is $450, and John is a past juror award winner, and he's part of KVIE's Living Legacy collection. Dee will tell us what that is coming up in a minute. Item 1D is Going South, and it's by Don Yost. This is clay, measuring 7 by 11 by 7. Retail value is $150, and this is a curator award. Item 1E is Man's Beggar's Bowl by Jack Richardson. This is stone, measuring 5 by 6 round. The retail value is $250, and that piece is coming up ahead. Item 1F is Calliope, and this is by Kathy Kyle. This is clay, measuring 15 by 13 by 10. Retail value is $600. During this break, I am pleased to be joined by Dee Oldham-Neath, KVIE's on-staff art curator. She's also been involved in Second Saturday and the Sacramento arts community, gosh, for a long time. Art's more than 30 years in our community and one of the founders of Second Saturday. She's not only the curator of the auction, but also of our KVIE gallery, which is so cool, now in its third year of operation. Big hug for the weekend.
Oh, here we
Good to
go.
see you. All right, take it away. This is what you picked to start with.
I picked this one to start the auction because I usually like to pick something that I'm really excited about. It's also an award winner. Polly Adams did this piece. It's an acrylic on canvas board. It's been beautifully framed by Choice Framing. They really went out of their way to do a great job this year.
The phones are already ringing. We have a bid of $200, Dee.
Good, and we should. It's a larger piece. It's done in a distressed white frame. It's beautiful pinks and baby blues. We've got just a little bit of orange in it. It's very soft and pastel-y. It's very beachy to me.
So you picked this for the very first piece, which clearly means you think this is, in my opinion, an investment piece.
And I think it's going to get the phones ringing. I picked this piece because so many people were drawn to it at the recent gala.
I saw that.
And,
people were really gathering around it.
Yeah, and it makes such a lovely statement. I mean, it's just got a quiet beauty to it that I thought would translate really well for our very first piece.
So we are live online at kvie.org/art auction, as well as the phones are ringing 1-844-KVIE-ART or 1-844-584-3278. This beautiful piece by Polly Doms Abrams has a starting value of starting bid rather of $200, and it's a retail of $600. And as you heard Dee say, the crowd was gathering at the gala. It was absolutely cool to see.
Polly's been a professional artist for quite a while. She only recently moved to the Sacramento area in 2016. So we're really lucky to have her here. She lived in Rancho Cordova as a child. She's taken painting lessons on and off. She also does figurative work as well. But I think her florals have a really nice, strong kind of old world quality to them.
I just noticed that the pink matches your hair. So I wanted to point that out. 1-844-KVIE-ART is the phone number to call. I see many people on the phone tonight, and we have more people available to speak to you. We have an entire team of friendly phone bank volunteers here ready to talk to you. And again, this is Untitled Flowers. Your first piece, I think you're knocking it out with the statement here showing that the entire collection, 260 pieces this weekend. Fantastic.
Yeah. And if you don't call, they go so fast.
Yeah, it's 5 minutes and boom, they're gone. Let's go across the studio to Kelly Raines. She is live in the phone bank. Hey, Kelly.
Thanks, Rob and Dee. 1-844-KVIE-ART. Not only is there art, but we're trying to make music, and the music is you making the phones ring. That's 844-KVIE-ART, 844-584-3278, and we're going back to Rob. Rob?
Climbing up. And folks, this is how it works. So if you're thinking about it, you want to get involved while you think, because we're now up to $300 and I see 4 or 5 people on the phone. And this is still at half the retail value, Dee.
It goes so fast. You know, if you want to bid on this piece and you don't have the phone in your hand right now, there's a good chance you're going to miss it because you and I just move on to the next one. Again, this is Polly Adams' piece. It's an untitled floral. She has shown both locally in Sacramento, in Iowa, all over the place.
And jurors picked her #1 for Still Life.
Yeah, and that's not easy. Boyd Gavin was our juror this year. There was a lot to choose from out of 268 pieces.
That's a lot.
Only 16 of them won an award, and this is one of them.
Fantastic. Beautiful piece. The auction is live on that one, so we're going to move on and let the phone bank deal with the people who are calling for that beautiful piece. I see them waving right over there now. This I love. It's 1B. It's called Intersections Bicycle Shadow by Karen Josephson. She's a former employee here.
Yes, she
This is oil on board, measuring 21 by 21. It's a great size. Retail value is $600, and it's a juror award for Still Life. And Dee, I love this piece. I'm glad it's in the first half hour, and I'm glad it won a juror's award.
It's a beautiful piece. She did a great job of capturing the light that we get in Sacramento.
She did, yeah.
This is the main body of the bike is up here, and of course this is the shadow. She's used a palette knife to add a ton of texture into that sidewalk. It's not just a flat white.
Yeah, it's thick.
Yeah, so it has a lot of dimension. It really pops out of the canvas.
Oh, good. We've got a $380 high bid right now. This retails at $600. 1-844 KVIE Art is the phone number. And Dee, I love the little pop of orange right there, and this frame is perfect.
Yeah,
for this.
it's a floating frame, so you see all of the artwork. None of it's covered by the frame. Karen provided the frame herself because presentation was important to her. She used to work at KVIE as a graphic designer, but she's been making fine art for quite some time.
She did the 6 logo a few years ago that has the colors going through it. It's one of our older logos. I also want to point out that this would be great in a cyclist home. 30% of Davis, 30% of Davis commutes on their bike to work.
Or if you ride your bike to work, what a nice statement piece for your office.
Right? Or to encourage people to get out on their bikes. I just did that for the first time in 10 years here, and it's so much fun to ride your bike in Sacramento. And I truly think that this piece would go well with a wide variety of art in your home.
And again, it's another award winner. So we're starting off with a bang.
All right, let's get those phones ringing, and 1-844 KVIE Art is the phone number. Multiple people are standing by ready to talk to you right now. This is at $380 with a retail value of $600. And this, again, as Dee said, is a Jurors Award.
It's a Jurors Award. It's one of the finer pieces in the auction, and it's a really easy size to find a spot for.
Yeah, I love that, because even on a small wall, you can stack it from floor to ceiling if you want and just fill up a wall, and I love that look.
And it's got a lot of impact for a little piece.
Yeah.
You know, it's got a strong focal point. I love, like you said earlier, that just that little pop of orange is very
and the
brave.
name, I love how Karen signs her name, JOSEPHSON. It's so cute, the little 3 stacked on top. So we again are looking for another bid to take us up to $400 on this. A couple of people are on the phone for this one right now. It's Intersections Bicycle Shadow. Again, if you want to follow along online, or if you see somewhere some piece of art that you think someone would love across the country, call them or send them a text and say, hey, hop online and check this out. Let's turn things over to Kelly Rain. She's in the phone bank with Polly's piece. Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Rob. I'm over here with item 1A. This is Untitled Flowers. It's a retail value of $600. We're looking for a bid of $325. We need you to call in right now, 844-KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278. Item 1A, Untitled Flowers. And we're looking for a bid of $350. Call in now. You want this in your home. It's a beautiful thing on your wall. Get involved. Make some art. Be a part of the art. Be a part of the experience. Only here on KVIE. We're going to go back over to Rob.
Thank you. Intersections is climbing up the cool bicycle painting that you just saw up to $425. This is John's Garden Bouquet 2. It is so beautiful and very, very thick oil here. It's on canvas measuring at 22 by 28. Retail value is $450. John is a past Juror Award winner and part of KVIE's Living Legacy Collection. We'll tell you what that means in a second, but first, I love this piece, Dee, that you pulled this in for the collection. It is spectacular.
This is part of a series of 5 pieces that John did in the spring.
So this is number 2 of the 5.
Yeah, and what's interesting about this piece for John is that he's working on a white background. Normally he works in really dark, heavy colors.
Oh, I wondered if that was painted white. It's a white background?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then he uses a palette knife. You could almost pick the flowers. The paint is so thick towards the middle. John is one of our Living Legacy artists.
What's that mean, Dee?
Legacy artists and Living Legacy artists are artists who have either left us their work through their estate planning, or in the case of living artists, they have made a gift of a certain number of works for us to have to use in the auction and in the gallery over the next couple years.
And so they give them while they are living? They come here? Okay.
I go down to the studio. We spent a lovely afternoon in John's studio, me and Heath and the rest of the crew, choosing, hand selecting all the works.
His technique is very unique.
Impasto.
Impasto, what does that mean?
That means thick paint.
Okay.
And it's almost done with a knife versus a brush. He has used a brush, but you can see where he's used the knife to it's almost, when you're painting like that, it almost feels like you're working with icing.
Okay, wow. So it's that thick and it takes a while for this to dry.
Yes, this is oil paint. It takes quite a while for it to dry, but this one is definitely dry and ready to go home.
It's beautiful. It can be yours right now, tonight. 1-844-KVIE Art. Oh, fantastic. The numbers are climbing on all of the art. We love to see that. Call now. You want to get involved. If you're on the fence about one of the pieces or you see one coming up in this half hour, you got to call in because it goes like that.
If you have a question, you can also call with a question if you want to know how deep something is or maybe how big a frame is or something that you can't discern watching it on TV. Give us a call. We love to talk about it.
And we're also glad to pull it back over into the phone bank and show it there one more time as well. I also want to point out that we're open tomorrow to pick these up. Let's go across the studio to Kelly and Steve.
Thanks, Rob. We have some fantastic pieces for bid right now and a wonderful phone bank. Almost everyone is on the phone. This is HPE Roseville, who's here taking their time to have a wonderful... Okay, so this is your opportunity to give us a call right now. Give us a call. What do you think, Kelly?
844 KVIE Art. That's what I think. We need a little bit of mirth in here, a little bit of joy, some phone ringing, and 844-584-3278. Put these volunteer phone bank workers to work, and we go back over to Rob. Rob? I don't hear him in my ear anymore.
We'll talk about John's beautiful garden bouquet right now. Garden piece number 2. It's 2 of 5. A beautiful series that John did.
He is also featured this month in the KVIE Art Gallery, which is here on premises. We have shows every single. The shows stay up for 2 months, and they rotate through. All the proceeds go to KVIE and benefit the artist.
And we get the best crowd for that every time the gallery changes.
It's a nice reception. It's not like Second
lovely.
Saturday.
It's lovely. Well, Second
crowded.
Saturday's a fantastic time.
Yeah, but
you helped create it, so we're very happy about that.
But John's a joy to work with. It was an incredible gift he gave us. He gave us almost 25 paintings.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's fantastic. That is also called the KVIE Living Legacy Group, and you can always talk to Dee about that. We're going to keep this piece open. The numbers are climbing. That's at 200. It's a retail value of 450, and that one will be live now on the phone banks. This is adorable. I love it. Are these your gloves, Dee?
Yes, those are my gloves.
This is 1D Going South by Don Yost. I'm sorry, by Don Yost. That's it. This is clay measuring 7 by 11 by 7. And it's a retail value of $150. This is a curator award. So we have the curator here. So of course we got to find out why you picked this for the curator award. And how many do you pick?
I only pick 4 out of the entire collection.
Oh, okay. So it's not one per segment. It's one per the. Wow, that's cool.
I just picked 4 for the entire. That's out of 260 pieces.
That's cool.
I love Don's work. He is really well known for doing these crazy little birds, and I'm going to go ahead and turn this.
Yeah, we're in a tight shot too. That's really pretty.
It reminds me of a mama bird with the 3 little sort of irritated, upset baby birds on her back.
Oh, this is the big one on the bottom. I gotcha. Okay.
Here, I can turn them your way.
That is so beautiful.
Or the angry bird.
Look at those cute little beaks and
And they're
ears.
great feet.
Absolutely adorable. This could go anywhere, actually, in a house.
Yeah, it's great on a desk if you want to kind of lighten up your work area.
How heavy is it? Is it pick it up?
It's pretty heavy.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So it's not, your cat's not going to knock it over. What I love about Don obviously has a really good sense of humor. We asked the artist to write out a script. Not a script, but
a story.
A story that we can use in their script. Well, his story is he really hopes that whoever buys this will think it has enough whimsy that when they downsize it, they won't sell it at a garage sale. Oh. I said, really, Don? I can't use that.
I think it's beautiful.
He's
I would
a doll.
absolutely love
Yeah.
this. We have a starting bid right now of $80, and we are calling this at a retail of $150. Do you have a lot of ceramics at your shop? So that's one of the things that you know very well. This piece, what made it stick out to you besides the fact that you like it as a juror's award?
Yeah, aside from the
curator award.
Yeah, aside from the fact that it does have a lot of humor embedded in it, I love the glaze. It's got kind of a nice earthenware glaze on it, and the colors are really subtle. The beaks are barely yellow, the feet are barely pink, so it's not really bright and cartoony, but it still has that same cartoon sort of sensibility to it.
I like that because it's not very cartoony, and it can go I think, in a formal room or a very casual room.
If you know somebody that has 3 children, this is what you need to get for their
if
mama.
you know that know someone that has 3 children, give them a break tonight and babysit.
But it's a great piece. He's won before. He's won awards here before. He's an excellent ceramicist, and he's a big supporter of KVIE. I want to remind everybody that 100% of what you pay for the piece goes to KVIE.
Yes,
the
that's good to
artists
point
have
out.
Donated the pieces outright, and the artist receives no compensation for the work at all. except our gratitude.
100% goes to supporting the programming that you see here on KVIE, your public broadcasting station. We're your front row seat to the arts. We say that all year round, and boy, this weekend are we. We're the largest art gallery in Northern California this weekend. This is $150 right now value, and we're up to $80. Let's go across the studio. Hey, Kelly.
Thanks, Rob. This is item 1B, Intersections Bicycle Shadow. We have a bid of $675. We're looking for a bid of $700. 844 KVIE Art. That's the other number you need to remember. We're looking for a bid of $700 from item 1B. It is a bell ringer. This is Intersections Bicycle Shadow. It's absolutely beautiful. It should go on your wall, and don't wait, because it's going to go away when somebody else is on their wall. 1-844 KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278. And we're going to go back over to Rob. Rob?
So Kelly was just on that piece, and it went to a bell ringer, which is fantastic. We love that, starting off with the bang this year. Let's go back to this one, which is going south. Oh, good. This is up too. We're at $175, so we're calling a $200. We're now at $2. We're calling for a $225. We love a live auction, and
another
we got it
bell ringer.
going. Yeah, absolutely. Dee, tell us more about this beautiful piece.
I just envision this in a really serious office setting, just right on the edge of your desk.
Yeah.
Because your guest would come in, sit down, and be at eye level.
It's a good icebreaker, that's for sure. And a lot of these pieces, I love how art can become a conversation piece for people in your home, because some people might not feel too comfortable talking.
Sometimes a little piece like this almost becomes a talisman. You know,
What's
it's the thing you touch when you walk in, like rubbing the Buddha's belly.
My job is to ask you what these words
Yeah.
mean. So.
You just want to touch the piece. It's got a beautiful smooth texture to it. I love the way he's left this really rough down here.
Yeah, I like that too. A beautiful statement piece right there. Going south, and we're going to leave that one live. It's well over a bell ringer status. Love the start, the half hour that way. Love this piece too. It's gorgeous. This is 1E if you're following along on your book, if you have the art auction book, if you're online, what have you, or just live here on television. This is Man's Beggar's Bowl by Jack Richardson. This is stone, okay? It's measuring 5 by 6 round and a retail value of $250. And Dee, this is Man's Beggar's Bowl. It's really, really pretty. It's stone.
Yes, it's stone that's been turned on a lathe. He has been a long-time contributor to the art auction. He is well respected for his craft. I'm going to pick this up.
It's gorgeous.
I always warn the camera. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to tilt it towards you.
Okay.
So you can see that it's all made out of one piece.
How? It's one piece?
It's been turned on a lathe, so he turns it like this and grounds it down and grounds it down out of one piece of stone.
So it's not a blown piece, it's an actual carving.
It was a rock.
A rock?
Yeah.
I wish I could turn a rock into that. It's beautiful, Dee.
He's done a little inlay up here with a different kind of stone for the lip of the bowl. It is opaque. Light will come through it. It is usable, though.
Light will come through it? Hold it
Yeah.
up for a second. Yeah, you're right. I see. Yeah.
I don't know what I would put in here. It would have to be pretty precious.
Why is it on this?
This is, he makes these Japanese, you can pick that up because you don't need gloves. He makes these Japanese presentation boxes.
Oh,
and
nice.
they come with the linen that wraps around them in a really nice little knotted
There's a
thing.
note in there.
It tells you a little bit about the history of the piece
And
itself.
that note says someone needs to call and place a $500 bid on this. We'll take it up from $75 to $500.
He's won so many awards, I can't even list them all off. Quite a few
for him.
here at the art auction. It's just a beautiful wedding gift. It's a beautiful.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, it's kind of an important little piece.
And I love the story behind it.
Yeah, the lathe that he uses is from Belgium, and it's vintage.
That's amazing.
It's an old world tradition. He is turning these bowls the way they've been turned and produced for hundreds of years.
I love that. I love that you know that. An old world technique alive today. Let's go across the studio to our phone bank. Hey, Steve and Kelly.
Hey, we are here. I'm here with Steve. He is holding Going South. It is a bell ringer. We have a bid of $350. We're looking for a bid of $375. Just because it's a bell ringer, we need it to go more. We need the bell to keep ringing. And we're going to go right over back to Rob. Rob?
$75. Thanks, Kelly, on this piece. It's Man's Beggar's Bowl. It's a $250 retail value, and Dee was just telling us about the way this bowl is made. It was one piece. It was a rock.
And he is an old California craftsman from way back. The box is made of California pine, and the artist made the box by hand as well.
And the box is signed as well. Right there on the top, it says, right there, Jack Richardson.
Yeah,
and it's stone measuring.
And this was done this year.
Stone measuring about 5 by 6, right? 5 by 6 round. Yeah, it's beautiful. How heavy is that? Because you picked it up.
It's not very heavy at all because it's so fine. He's gotten the stone so thin on the interior walls.
I see that.
That's why the light kind of comes through.
But is it sturdy?
It's sturdy. It would be a beautiful piece in the center of a real elegant table.
Good.
It can hold water or flowers or something like that, but I just think it's beautiful as an object all by itself.
This is a great time to start thinking about gifts for the rest of the year as well. Man's Beggar's Bowl right now is a retail of $250, and we have a high bid of $75 for 1E. 1-844-584-3278 is the number to call, and this is in our starting half hour. All of the half hours, of course, are curated and are very important half hour collection half hours. But you started the show off with this one in the beginning. Why?
I wanted to start with a lot of our award winners and people that presented different kinds of artwork. This Jack does. He is an old world craftsman.
Yeah, you said
you don't see a lot of that anymore.
And the piece he uses is from Belgium.
Yeah, it's in a really old lathe that he works on. And you don't see a lot of those, particularly people that do everything from the ground up.
Cool. I love it. So we're staying with the, oh, this is really cute. These look like your shoes, or you would wear something like this, Steve.
Yeah, I'd have a pair of Converse
I've seen
like that.
you wear them. I've also seen you wear a dress like this. So this is super cool. And it's called?
Calliope.
Calliope. And this is by Kathy Kyle. It's clay measuring 15 by 30 by 10. It's adorable. I can promise you that. Retail value is $600 for Calliope. And we have a bid already in at $180. Isn't it cute? Look at the back of the zebra.
Yeah, the little individual hairs are amazing.
How'd she do that?
You know, I don't. It's one of her trademark things. A couple years ago, she did a giraffe that holds.
Look at that. You can see how light. Yeah, there they go.
That holds the record for the highest percentage bell ringer we've ever had.
Oh, I remember that.
It was insane. It was like a $500 piece that went for $1,700. It was a giraffe.
And so her piece is the highest percentage above retail value that we've ever had.
Yeah.
So why don't we do that again right now? This is $180 right now for a bid already in. It's worth more than $600. And as you can see, there's these cute little red shoes on the bottom. Look at that cute shoe and that tummy that's just lying right there on the big old stomach right there. You see it? It's cute. All right, so $180, and we're trying to get this up to $600. And as we said, her stuff goes to the roof.
Regularly. Yeah, she shows regularly. She's been doing ceramics since 2006.
Look at the shoelaces; they're just as fine as the hairs on top.
Yeah, these are just. I mean, I can't tip this one. She is fairly heavy. She is not something you could knock over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a she. Calliope is the girl.
I was wondering how you knew with that
because
stomach.
of the eyelashes.
Okay, all right, I got it. Very cute. So 1-844 KVIE Art is the number to call. It is right there on the bottom of your screen, and it will be up for the entire evening. You see these boards behind us. The art is coming out for the next half hour, and I'm already looking at it, and it's so exciting. Can't wait to show you that. This piece right here, Dee just mentioned that the numbers on her pieces specifically jump quickly.
She's very popular. She is known for her animals, and she she seems to pick animals that are normally really difficult to reproduce, but she does a great job on them. I love the kind of odd angle that the zebra is sitting at, and she's
It's cute.
just perfect.
Oh, look at the little mouth too. That's adorable. See right there? Boom. There it is. So $220. We have an auction going now. It takes more than one person, of course, to have a live auction, and we've got several on the phone for this one. $220 with a retail of $600. We're going to check in with Steve. He's over in the phone bank. Hey, Steve.
Thanks, Rob and Dee. We're over here in the phone bank having a great experience. The phone banks are ringing off the hook. So people are really excited. People at home like you who are calling in because you like what you see. You want to support the arts in our region, and you want to support PBS right here at KVIE Public Television, your community station. Give us a call, 1-844-KVIE Art. We are here for you. And we are going to now send it back to Rob and see what's going on.
I love this. I'm a huge fan of the zoo. At Safari West, we're getting ready to go there for Rob on the Road, and they have zebras like this. So does Hearst Castle. They're wild at Hearst Castle, though.
Wow.
All these random facts come out. All right, so where is she from?
She lives in Rescue, so we get
What's that?
artists from all over Northern California. It's like up past Placer.
Oh, her location. Yeah, Rescue. I'm
she
sorry. I
lives in
thought you said
Rescue.
a rescue. Okay.
No, she doesn't live in the Rescue. And I love the fact that we get artists from all over our viewing area.
Yeah.
So, they drive their work up. Again, she donated this so we would get 100% of the proceeds.
Wow, absolutely beautiful. And her piece is now just jumped up $100 to $320. $600 is the retail value on this. We're going to move on. Stay tuned because there's much more art coming up in the next half hour. It's coming out on the floor. It's beautiful in the KVIE Art Auction.
At Crow & Decker, we are proud to support public broadcasting and the local arts community. Crow & Decker, serving the needs of businesses throughout California and the United States. Proud supporters of public broadcasting.
KVIE is committed to the visual and performing arts through national productions like Poldark and Victoria, to our local production of KVIE Arts Showcase and the KVIE Gallery, now in its third year of celebrating award-winning auction artists and California Masters. KVIE's commitment to the arts stays strong because of your participation as a donor and art buyer. Thank you for being part of the KVIE Art Auction and for making art a part of your home today.
Stay tuned for Florals coming up next on the KVIE Art Auction. This collection celebrates the beauty of plants and flowers in all media. View all of the art featured in this year's auction at kvie.org/art auction.
I love this. We're just 30 minutes out of the gate and the phones are packed. Hello again, I'm Rob Stewart and we're back with more incredible art. This break features a beautiful collection of florals that are really going to brighten your wall in your home or someone's life. And the art is absolutely beautiful. Here's an overview of the half hour of art. And this is 2A. It's called Flower Power. It's by Judith Garland. Not Judy Garland, Judith Garland. This is a mixed media measuring 18 by 22. The retail value is $325, and we're looking for an opening bid on this. Let's look at 2B. It's Blooms by Richard Munoz. This is acrylic on canvas. This is measuring 19 by 33. Archival Framing did this, and Richard's beautiful piece, 2B, is Blooms. It's a retail value at $500. Also, item 2C is Creamy Rose. This is by Megan Bucco. This is watercolor, measuring 24 by 30. Retail value is $400. Item 2D is Burst of Color, and boy is it. It is popping across this studio. It's by Rita Rose Ruiz. This is oil on canvas, measuring 27 by 33. This is a retail value of $400. And we are moving on to the next one, which is Gardening's Offer. Oh, that's beautiful. By Ruth Morrow. This is a mixed media measuring 21 by 25. Retail value is $300 on this one. Item 2F is Gerbera Daisy by Karen Fussuker. And this is watercolor measuring 25 by 35. And this is a retail value, oh, look at that, of $450. I get so distracted when I look over and see the art
Like bright
because
color
it's just
thing.
it's so pretty, and we saw a lot of this when it was laid out at the gala the other night. But now it's live in our studio, and it's so nice to be up close to it.
It's a little overwhelming when you see 250 pieces at once, and now we're seeing them all as the individual works.
And you can
that they
take
are.
them in, and you can too at home or online. This is by Judith Garland, as we said. It's called Flower Power.
Flower Power. The whole next half hour is all about flowers. This is a really lovely mixed media piece. It's done with watercolor, inks, and then a little bit of metallic ink in the middle to kind of give it a pop.
It's very pretty.
Yeah, I love it. It's kind of funny. It matches my nails. It's one of my new favorite colors.
Oh, nice.
Is that baby blue.
It's Tiffany blue or
Yeah.
what is it, Blue Jay blue or something?
It's just a gorgeous color. It's a great little piece, easy to find a spot for. One of the things I like about doing all these florals is, you know, it costs $200 to send somebody flowers.
Yeah, that's a
anymore.
good point.
Why not get them the bouquet that doesn't go away?
That's a good idea. And you can get it right here by supporting your public broadcasting channel. And of course, all of the money, 100%, all of it goes straight to our programming here and keeping our mission alive, which part of that mission is the arts.
And Judith did the framing on this. A lot of times the artists like to frame their own work because presentation is important. It's ready to go. You can pick it up tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock and hang it.
Okay. Also, we want to point out that every piece in this collection, these are not prints. These are originals.
This is all original artwork. We're not selling any reproductions, any prints, anything like that. These were all done by the artist's hand.
Wonderful. Fantastic. 1-844-KVIE-ART is the phone number. That's 844-584-3278. Flower Power, we're looking for a starting bid of $90 on this piece. Let's check in with Steve over in the phone bank. Hey, Steve.
We have some good news. Pieces 1E and 1F are both bell ringers. There's Kenny. Hi, Kenny. Bye, Kenny. This is working, folks. You are getting really excited about all the art you're seeing, and you're giving us a call right here at 844-KVIE Art. We've been hearing from Fairfield, El Dorado Hills. We're getting calls from Davis and all throughout the region. So please keep up the good work and supporting your community station, KVIE. Let's take it back over to Rob.
Thank you, Steve, very much. And it's nice to see bell ringers right here in the first, only 35 minutes. Judith Garland painted this piece specifically for KVIE, and I'm glad she did.
She is an artist that's really interested in renewable energy. And she tries to put that through in her work. That's why she picks sort of organic objects to do her work with. Again, that metallic paint is also up here and all throughout the center. Watercolor is such a hard medium to work with.
When you say metallic paint, you're not talking about the color. You're actually talking about the type of...
Yeah, it has a little bit of metal flake in it, so
does.
it has a little bit of a shine to it.
Okay, so it has the actual flake in it, metallic flake.
And
Gotcha.
mostly it's watercolor with a little bit of overdrawing. But what a great little size, and it's just that color that everybody loves.
I love it. It's beautiful.
Thank you,
it's
Judith.
Flower Power by Judith Garland. We're looking for a starting bid of $90. And as Dee said, to order of arrangement of flowers is way more than that if you want something substantial. And so this would be a substantial gift for someone. As you said, it's the flowers that'll keep on giving.
That's right. They don't go away.
We'll be open tomorrow to pick these up starting at 11. It's art that you can literally get right off the television and take it right into your home. We're going to move on to the next piece. This is fantastic. And I think the frame is so cool with these beautiful flowers as well. This is Blooms.
You're only saying that because I framed it.
Oh, you did? I didn't know.
With
Yeah,
my
you
own
did.
little hands.
You framed this piece. This is by Richard Munoz, and Richard's a great person. This is acrylic on canvas measuring 19 by 23, Richard Munoz, and this is Archival Gallery, as we said, framed it, and retail value is $500. When this one came out that Richard did, and I saw it coming across, the colors just capture you.
It's got that really great old world still life feel to it with the heavy dark background that's just layers and layers and layers of color. It's
the background is layers of colors, you're right.
Mostly deep, deep, deep blues.
So what would it have been when he started?
It was just a white canvas.
Wow.
So the color is layered on, just like in the flowers. You can see, especially here in the center flower, you can see where the darker colors were layered over that really bright red to kind of tone it down. It's very Renoir-y.
That's Renoir-y. Did you make up a word? I like that.
That's probably a bad art term.
But it works.
It does. It's got that old world feel to it.
That's beautiful. Richard Munoz, that piece is 2B. It's blooms, and it is in full bloom year-round for you. It is a collector's piece, and Dee says that this is one of the 268 pieces that you made sure was in your collection for our 36th year.
Yeah. And the other thing I like about this piece is the frame is an Italian gold leaf frame, so it's presented in an extremely traditional frame.
It looks expensive.
So when you look at this piece, you don't know if it was done yesterday or 75 years ago.
And is that what you want when you're talking about this type of art?
Yeah, it's got a real timeless quality to it. It would work really well in a super contemporary house, and it would work really well in a house that was heavy with antiques.
Yeah, I was thinking that actually would be beautiful with antiques. We need the phones to ring 1-844-584-3278. 100% of your money goes straight to our programming here at KVIE, your public broadcasting station and your public broadcasting system. Because we are a system of support. Yeah, it's beautiful. This is by Richard Munoz, and it is just beautiful. It's blooms, and I love the yellows. I also hear, Dee, that blue is really hard. Is that accurate?
The color itself, yeah, he's using a palette of about 5 or 6 blues.
Oh, wow. Okay.
In this, and he's managed to layer them up, and he's pretty brave putting them against the bright red and the bright yellow.
Why? Why is that
because
brave?
They kind of fight with each other. They're sort of on opposite sides, and they're both primary colors. But he does a really beautiful job of transitioning into the bright yellows from the bright reds, and not one of these flowers is the same as any other.
Oh, I just realized that. You're right.
Yeah.
In fact, that looks like a zinnia, and they're just beautiful flowers mixed in there. He's got a great eye. And I love that you brought up that you can't tell when this was painted, because I look at part of it and it looks like a gorgeous antique.
Yeah.
And then I look at part of it and I see this looks like it was done today.
Yeah, it's got a timeless beauty to it. And I like that because it makes artwork very versatile.
Timeless beauty.
Just like you.
Oh, please. I got some time on this old thing. All right, let's go across the studio to Steve.
You're going to be on air in a moment. We just learned that people are calling from as far as Texas to buy pieces of work in this auction. A piece just went to somebody who is in town on business, apparently. So they're calling to speak with our wonderful volunteers from HPE Roseville, and you can speak with them too. Give us a call, 844-KVIE Art. You won't just be supporting the great art in Northern California. You'll be supporting KVIE Public Television when you do. That's what we're here for. We're a big supporter of the arts, and we hope you are too. Let's head back to Rob.
This is beautiful. This is Megan Bucco's piece. It's Creamy Rose. It's 2C, and the title is Creamy Rose. It's a watercolor measuring 24 by 30, and the retail value is $400, and we have a starting bid already at $120 to kick off this beautiful piece by Megan Bucco. Dee.
Megan did a fabulous job on this. I have so much respect for watercolor artists.
It's beautiful.
You know, when you paint in oil or pastel or acrylic, if you make a mistake, you can go over your mistake and start again.
Right.
You do not have that option with a watercolor.
So I've never understood that, because we say it every year. If you make a mistake, it's done?
The mistake is there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
You can't cover it up, because watercolor is the pigment actually soaks into the paper.
And so does watercolor run?
Yes.
It does.
They do. There is a type of watercolor called dry point, where you use a dry brush with the watercolor.
Okay.
And that you have a little more control over that. But the beautiful thing about watercolor is it gives you this transparency and this sort of random mix of the color. Instead of the colors laying on top of each other, they kind of embrace each other and move around.
Oh, wow. It's very cool.
Which is what makes it hard to work with.
I know this is a rose, and it's called Creamy Rose. It also looks sort of like a magnolia. If you like magnolias, it's just a stunning piece. And in the background, that almost looks like a poppy. I love that you can interpret art. This is a start. Oh, look at this. It's up to $275, and we are, I'm sorry, $120, and it's a retail value of $400. Megan's beautiful piece, Creamy Rose. And you picked this piece.
I did. It's a really substantial size for a
It is
watercolor.
big, yeah.
The larger a watercolor is, the harder it is to work with. She studied locally here in Sacramento, and she shows around town. I like the fact that she used the really dark, rich background, and then instead of doing like a red rose or something with a deep color to it, she went straight to all those beautiful pastels.
That's cool. I love how art is always surprising, and I would have thought that it would have possibly been flipped, right? A lighter background and
with a darker. That would have been easier.
But right, and this makes it harder and more beautiful.
Yeah, it's a
Let's
great
go across
piece.
the studio. I think it's Steve. Hey, Steve.
Hi there, this is Steve. I'm here in the phone bank with Megan, who's holding this lovely piece of art. This is Flower Power by Judy Garland. It's piece 2A. We're looking for an opening bid of $90. We'd love to see $100 if you'd so kindly give us a call. Name number is 844-KVIE Art. When you do, you could be taking home this lovely piece of art today. This is 2A, Flower Power by Judy Garland. When you do so, you'll be supporting the arts here on KVIE Public Television, and that's what we're trying to do here. Thanks so much for your support. Back to the art.
Okay, thank you so much. I think it's so cool hearing him say it's by Judy Garland.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, so this is Creamy Rose, $120, and I like that word, creamy.
Well, yeah, and it definitely has that quality to it. The artist was inspired because her grandmother had a really beautiful rose garden, so it's sort of an homage to her grandmother's rose garden. So if you know don't they call them rosarians? People that
Rosarian,
do
yes. Mhm.
Yeah, or if you got married in the McKinley Rose Garden.
And if you take them from there, you're called a rose robber.
Oh.
So you're not supposed to pick the roses.
No.
You can have this one in your house year round, which is so cool. And I love that she did this in tribute of her grandma.
Yeah, art inspires people in all different ways.
Well, this piece inspired you clearly because you selected it. You mentioned the background. Now I see, because when we're on air across the studio, I can study this for a second. And the art, the colors in the art in the back just pop.
Oh, there's purples and greens.
Oh, good,
and
we're right on it,
blues.
right there, yeah.
Yeah, purples and greens and blues, and then she's gone over it with the simple white.
Very cool.
And it just gives it such a depth.
I love that. I heard something at the Crocker called "Always Surprising," and art is always surprising.
It
I love
is.
that. Okay, this is beautiful, Creamy Rose. We have a $120 bid. We're going to keep that open, and we're going to move on to our next piece. And this is really pretty, and it has a frame that is incredibly. It's formal, but yet it's a beautiful piece of wood. You'll see in a second. This is Burst of Color. We're looking for a starting bid of $120. Retail value is $400. This is a large, heavy, meaty piece, if you will. And this piece is by Rita Rose Ruiz. And it is a $400 value, as I said, with a measurement of 27 by 33, okay? Also, it's kind of thick.
Yeah, what I love about this piece is it's kind of got a mid-century feel, and part of that reasoning is because Rita has selected a vintage frame. So the frame is an antique.
Oh, okay. And it looks like one piece of wood, but it's just a beautiful
Yeah,
frame.
it's a hand-carved frame, and it is vintage. I don't know if it's antique, because that's got to be 100, but it's definitely vintage, which is older than 25. I love the way she paints, again, with a palette knife. There's super, super, super thick texture through here, and really bold colors. It's almost splashy and kind of pop arty. So it's kind of a modern take on a real traditional still life.
When you say that it's a lot of paint, is that, and you said sometimes it's etched in there with a knife?
They actually almost sculpt with the paint.
So they put it on the
see,
piece that they're using, or they put it on the painting?
They put it on the painting, and then they use a palette knife to move it around. You can see in here where the paint actually digs in.
Beautiful.
And so it adds a little bit of 3 dimension to it. She was really brave in some of her colors with these bright turquoises, and then a little bit, you've got a little bit of the modern art, pop art thing going here with the splashes going off to the side. It's a really bold, fun painting.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely nice. We have $150 on this piece right now, and we got up to $200. That's fantastic. A retail value of $400. And as we said, we have someone from Texas. We have people people calling in from across the country, which is fantastic. We're at kvie.art or kvie.org/art auction, so you can have people log on and follow us. Let's get this up to $250 for a burst of color, and Dee, there's a price on it of retail for $400.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, the artist made a great find on the vintage frame.
Really?
Which means, you know, the artist found the frame and then had to stretch the canvas to go with it.
Oh.
And it's kind of fun that she worked in the opposite direction. She found the frame and made the painting to marry the frame.
Really?
Versus the way most artists do it. The painting is made and then we marry the frame to the painting.
Well, I like that. That's really cool. And it's a vintage frame. You said, I didn't know that vintage was 25. Had to be more than 25.
Antique, it's got to be 100 years.
Okay, very cool. Burst of Color is at $275. It's at a $400 retail value. So let's get the calls coming in for these pieces. We are going to get them at the retail or above, and when we go above, it's our bell ringer status, and we get a lot of those as the weekend goes on. Jump in on the auction. You gotta call 1-844-KVIE Art is the way to make this an auction. Dee, you say every year, gosh, I wish that one would not have gone so fast.
No, they go so fast. If you're not on the phone for this piece right now, your chances are you're not going to get it.
Yeah, because the clock is literally going by like that.
Yeah, a lot of people let things go by, and you know, I'll run into them later, or they'll come to be picking up one piece because they missed, you know, 3 other ones that they really wanted.
Yeah, by the way, if you come and pick up your piece, you could get brought in the studio, so be forewarned. All right, so this is, oh good, it's bursting over in the phone bank at 350, so let's check in over there and see how this is looking. Hey guys.
Hello again. We're over here in the phone bank, and I have the pleasure of being here with Mr. Clayton Whitehead. Hi, Clayton.
Thanks, Steve. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thanks for being here tonight.
It's a great pleasure. I can't miss Art Auction.
Oh, how can you miss Art Auction?
I know, this is my 24th.
It's a all hands 24?
24.
Oh my goodness. Do you
Since
hear that?
93.
24 years.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. This is an all hands on deck approach, and volunteers, like, I need to ask, what do you love most about being a volunteer here, being a participant?
I feel like it's relevant. I mean, Channel 6 is relevant to our community. It's television, it's learning, it's music, it's art, it's architecture, it's everything I love. And it only happens with people writing checks, thank you for bidding, and people volunteering. So I do a little bit of both.
Thank you so much, Clayton, for being here, and we look forward to you being here with us the rest of the auction.
Thanks, Steve.
We're going to send it back to Rob.
24 years, Clayton. Thank you for such service. And Clayton is with Sports Leisure's Vacation as well. Also, we have this beautiful piece. This is the Garden's Offering. And I love what a garden offers. And this can be your garden in your home year-round. This is by Ruth Morrow. It's a mixed media, Dee will explain, measuring 21 by 25. Are these measurements including the frame, Dee? When we measure?
This
Yes.
one, yes.
Okay. Also, this is a retail value of $300. And we have a opening bid right now of $90. So Dee, take it away. Mixed media.
I absolutely adore Ruth. She has been a longtime contributor, probably 15 or 20 years.
Good. Thank you, Ruth.
Yeah, so she's an auction favorite. She works directly on the paper. She does not draw the image out first.
Oh, really?
The image is kind of born as she paints.
Oh, yes, because if the lines that are detailed and they're actually not, I see they're not
They're
done
on
with
top.
Yeah, they're on top.
So what she does is she works mainly from her own garden. She's an avid gardener, so she'll go out, select what she wants to paint for the day, make the arrangement,
Nice.
and sit down and paint it. Yeah.
I love that. What a cool story. And I love that the story behind the art is something that you know and that you share. And that's something that you can share when you take these pieces home as early as tomorrow at 11 o'clock. So this is a Garden's Offering, the Garden's Offering, and as Dee said, it's her offering for the day.
Yeah. What I love about Ruth's work is, again, she's using watercolor, one of my favorite mediums. She's a little more modern of a painter. Than,
I like that, though.
Yeah, then she's not a traditionalist. When you meet her, you would kind of assume that this lovely lady who's been donating for years probably does very traditional painting.
Which is why we don't stereotype.
That's right. She
PBS.
does. She does incredibly modern, bright, poppy paintings. It's a littler piece, but it has a big visual impact.
Okay. Yeah, it does.
You
It
know,
has
we
a
were
punch.
looking at it from across the room, and you could see all the vibrant colors, and I enjoy the bright white in here. And again, it's the bouquet that'll never go away.
Yeah, and these aren't just fluff words that, this is for real. I mean, when we're 30 feet away over there and we could see this piece.
Well, and these were selected. We had over 800 entries.
Wow.
And I only got to pick 248 for the auction.
268.
Well, yeah, I picked 248 from the entries, and then we have the masters. And I go to their studios and choose those.
Oh, that's nice to know. I didn't know that.
So
okay, this keeps spring and summer alive year round. My zinnias are starting to die.
Oh, I know, my impatiens are gone.
Well, yeah, they weren't. So this keeps it alive for you.
Yeah. And you can tell that she's a gardener because there's a real love of gardening kind of comes out in this piece to me.
You can see it. And we clearly have a lot of love for these pieces in this half hour. My gosh, some are well over bell ringer status. As we said, you got to get in on the phones. So let's check in with the phone bank over across the studio. Hey there, Devin.
Hey, I am Jessica here with Devin and all these wonderful volunteers, and the phones are ringing off the hook, but we still have room for you to call. Be sure to pick up the phone. It's super easy to process to bid.
That's right. We've made this process.
Use your mic.
We've made this process really, really easy and simple. Our volunteers are super, super friendly. So get on the phone. It's super fun. We've really ironed this process. And hey, we've had tons of bell ringers on this break, but we've also had some with no bids. So come on, we need you to step up the plate. You cannot rely on the next guy. Rob, back to you.
Thank you so much, Devin. Jessica, I'm sorry I couldn't see you over there behind the camera, but we're so glad that you guys are joining us on this half hour. That's fantastic. This is the Garden's offering, and as Devin just said, we have lots of bell ringers. This is at $120 right now, and the retail value is $300 to keep spring and summer alive as we move into mid-fall already.
I know. And what a beautiful little piece to celebrate the auction. I like the fact that she put it in this big, heavy, modern black frame, so it's ready to go on your wall.
Yeah, you said her work is modern and it makes a statement, and I love that. Okay, so this is Gerbera Daisy, and this is another stunning piece in our first hour here live from KVIE. This is a $450 retail value. It's by Karen Festuker, and it's a watercolor. Oh, it is watercolor. Measuring 25 by 35. The retail value is $450. I have to tell you, I did not think that Karen's piece was a watercolor looking across the studio because it just, bam, it pops.
She gets a lot of brilliant color in her watercolors. What I love about this piece is because it's so bright and it's such a big focal point, you could put this piece on a huge wall and it would still command the room.
Yeah, this is a big piece. I mean, so I'm 6'2", and it's almost half of my body right there. That's a big piece. And this is by, of course, Gerbera Daisy, and it's by Karen Festuker, which is beautiful.
I love what the artist says about her work. She says that in the beginning she was kind of reluctant to paint flowers because God does such a beautiful job of making them. She didn't think she could make them look any better.
She did a good job.
And I think she made them look beautiful here.
Yes, she completely brought them to life, so much so that they're just jumping off of this blue background. And the blue is watercolor as well.
Yeah.
I love the fineness when you get up close to these. And this matte, I love that it has you have a name for the double matting. Is it just...
Yeah, she's got a little bit of gold liner on it, and it's in a real traditional gold leaf frame with just a little bit of distress to it. Again, it's a timeless piece. We don't know if this was painted last year.
That's a good point.
You know, it goes everywhere. I love orange. It's such a great, vibrant color. It makes you really happy.
I like orange and blue together too. It's funky.
Yeah, it just kind of brings up the whole mood in a room.
I also love that all of these pieces are framed and ready to go.
Yeah.
As early as tomorrow, you can get them. This piece, we need a starting bid of $125. The retail value is $450 for this 2F, if you're following along. This wraps our first hour of the pieces, and I tell you, look at all those bell ringers. That is really good, Dee. You've picked a great collection this year.
Thank you.
Let's do this one as a bell ringer as well. The phones are really starting to ring now, and as Dee said, when you see a piece, you got to get on the phone, because if you're on the fence and not on the phone, you might end up on the ground with your piece, without your piece. Save me from that, because I don't know where I was going with it. So $125 bid we're looking, and of course this is a retail of $450. And I always have to point this out, that because is the retail for the art, or would that, it'd be so much more if it were framed, right?
The retail is normally for the art. This artist brought it in framed. We do not add the retail prices for the frame
So
on
consider
top of
that.
it. Yeah, if you brought this in to your local frame shop, you would probably, if you had to put it in a frame, you'd end up spending another $200 or $300 easily.
Absolutely. And so the retail value, again, is for the art. That's not including the frame. The frame, we actually, some people, as you said, do it, and then you do a lot of it.
Yeah, we have 5 frame shops that participate with us. The frame shops donate the framing.
Wow.
A lot of times they donate, framing that may even be more costly than the piece.
Yes.
But they put what's appropriate on it, and it's so you can just take it home and hang it up. There's no more worries. It's not, I'm going to have to take it to the frame shop, get it remeasured, and wait 2 weeks.
I love that. Okay. All right, well, let's check in with Steve over in the phone bank to see what's happening over there, Steve.
The number 844 KVIE Art. That is the number that you can keep calling to place bids on all the wonderful art that we have here. Give us a call, make this bell ring, and we will excitedly thank you with a piece of art that you can bring home. The open pieces remaining that you can call to place a bid on, we have Creamy Rose 2C, Burst of Color 2D, The Garden's Offering 2E, and Gerbera Daisy 2F. Stay tuned because there's more art coming up in the next half hour right here in the KVIE Art Auction.
Bring your brushes, bring your palettes, gonna paint that sunset tonight.
Welcome to the 36th annual KVIE Art Auction. Join us all weekend for a celebration of Northern California's visual arts. Over 260 pieces will be auctioned off to the highest bidder, and you can be part of the action by watching and bidding on your favorite pieces. View the entire collection online at kvie.org/art auction. Then, when your favorite item appears, call 1-844-KVIE-ART to place your bid. Auction proceeds benefit the programs and services of your local PBS station, KVIE. So thank you for watching and bidding. And now, let the auction begin. Picking up your purchased art is quick and easy to do. Visit KVIE Studios Saturday through Tuesday during these posted hours to claim your art. All purchased art must be claimed within 30 days of auction closure. For questions, location, and hours, visit kvie.org/art auction. Thank you for being part of the KVIE Art Auction and for making art a part of your home today.
Stay tuned for the Award Winners Collection coming up next on the KVIE Art Auction. This category features the best of this year's auction, carefully selected by the jurors and curator. View all of the art featured in this year's auction at kvie.org/art auction.
Hello and welcome to the 2017 KVIE Art Auction. I'm Kelly Rains, and over the next half hour you will have the opportunity to bid on and buy original works of art that have won awards in the KVIE Art Auction. We'll also be announcing the winner of the People's Choice Award later during this hour, so be sure to listen for that exciting news. This portion of the KVIE Art Auction is sponsored by Crow & Decker, and we would like to thank them for their commitment to supporting the arts on KVIE. And now, here's an overview of the art that will be up for bid during the next half hour. Item 3A is Still Life by Dwight Head. This is colored pencil measuring 37 by 31. It is framed by Choice Framing. It has a retail value of $850, and it is a first place winner in the Figurative category. Item 3B is Paul Robeson 1936 Showboat by Corey Cuts & Co. Excuse me. This is oil on canvas measuring 29 by 35. It is framed by Choice Framing. A retail value is $950. It is a juror award in the Figurative category. Item 3C is Dash by Victoria Powell. This is oil on linen measuring 18 by 22 inches, framed by Choice Framing. It is a retail value of $950. This is a juror award in the Figurative category as well. Item 3D is Summer Tomatoes by Patricia Toole McHugh. This is watercolor measuring 20 by 18 inches, framed by Choice Framing, with a retail value of $650. This is a Juror Award in the category of Still Life. Item 3E is Happy Birthday Chuck by Jim Hensley. This is acrylic on canvas, measuring 24 by 24 inches. Retail value is $300. It is a Juror Award in the Still Life category. And item 3F is Volcano by T. Robert Darrow. This is glass, measuring 20 by 20 by 3 inches. The retail value is $600, and it is an award winner, Juror Award in the category of sculpture. During this break, we are pleased to be joined by Ed Goldman. Ed is the former board president of Blue Line Arts, a writer for the Sacramento Business Journal with a daily column, and the author of a new book with a very long title. And now, with further ado, more gravitas-defying profiles and punditry from the Sacramento Business Journal. Welcome, Ed.
Well, thank you. That was wonderfully done. I appreciate that very much. It's wonderful to be back here with you, Kelly, and back here for KVIE. We've got some wonderful stuff to look at.
Let's start with this beautiful colored pencil one. What can you tell us about this beautiful, beautiful
Well,
piece?
for one thing, a lot of people think colored pencil is an easy medium because they did it as kids, and they think, well, you can erase it. But it's very, very difficult, and it's less forgiving than a lot of people realize. Not as unforgiving as watercolor, but it is a very difficult, and this is beautifully done, actually. This is by Dwight Head. I was going to read something about him because he likes to refer to his work as surrealism with a pop, which I think you can see there. It's very diverse. He uses recognizable logos and brands, which I don't see in this one particularly, that reflect our culture of consumerism with a little bit of tongue-in-cheek. He also uses the body to depict the way women are objectified by romantic fantasy in everyday life, and visually he likes the irony. His drawing method has changed over the years from ink to color pencil and watercolors, so it's a very, very fine piece.
It's really, really pretty. This is item 3A. This is Still Life by Dwight Head. We have a starting bid of $250. We're looking for a bid of $275. $275. The phone number to call is 1-844-KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278. And this is a first place winner, Ed, in the figurative category. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Salvador Dali, kind of.
Okay.
A tiny bit.
Okay. Well,
sure
hello, Dolly. I'll go with that. I was going to tell you a little about Dwight just because his fascinating background. He's a lifelong resident of Sacramento, and he began attending Sacramento City College art classes in the fall of 1992 and 93, where his instructor was Frank Zamora, who's quite well known. He traveled to Europe and lived in Hawaii for almost 6 years, and when he got back here, he started drawing with colored pencils and watercolors and collage. And he says his work explores the tension between the individual and the issues within everyday life.
Well, it's everyday life that is happening right now. 1-844-KVIE Art, but it's not every day that you get to get a beautiful piece of art like this, and you can only do that by calling in. And the number again is 1-844-KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278. We're looking for a bid of $275 for item 3A, Still Life. The title is Still Life, but it's not very still. It's very energetic and moving.
It is moving, yeah. You know, it's an interesting thing. A lot of people don't realize how much you can really get out of using colored pencil, how much variation in the colors and in the shading. This one figure here, this figure of, I presume, a woman, is definitely a woman. It has a lot of the same blue, but it's used differently all through it. And these figures here, it's a fairly sexy painting, or drawing, actually. I like it very much. You have a fish over here, upside down. And the clouds. It's a real nice surrealistic. I see why Dwight Head says he does surrealism with a pop. Makes sense.
With a pop. And speaking of popping, what can you tell us about the framing? And there's like 1, 2, how many mats is that?
Oh, I don't know.
It looks like maybe 4 mats and the colors kind of combined.
I don't know, but I know that the frame itself is textured. You can see that on this TV. You can on your guys' HD, but the frame itself is textured, which gives it an extra little push.
And then it's framed by Choice Framing. This is item 3A. We have a bid of $250. We're looking for a bid of $275 for item 3A. This is Still Life. The number to call is 844-KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278. And let's check in with Dee in the phone bank. Dee?
Hi, I'm here in the phone bank with the people from Choice Framing who won Best Frame Design. Thank you guys for being here.
Absolutely. Who wouldn't miss it for the world?
Can you tell us a little bit about the frame that's on that first piece?
Oh my gosh. The piece itself is an award-winning piece of artwork. It came into the shop and we just fell in love with it and just played with it until we found the right combination, put it together, and there it is. So you have an award-winning piece of artwork and an award-winning frame design. So.
Now, come on, Sam. Did Marcia pick the mats or did you?
I did. I definitely did. I'm the one who plays with colors. I actually also picked the frame because I thought that it kind of has a scaly look like the fish.
Like the fish.
So.
Well, thank you very much, and it was a well-deserved first place. It's Choice Framing, and you guys are located
in Elk Grove.
And you're open?
Tuesday through Friday, 10 till 6, Saturdays, 10 till 4.
They support KVIE, so please support Choice Framing, and thank you again. We're going to go back to Kelly and see another great piece.
Thanks, Steve. We are now with item 3B. This is Paul Robeson, 1936 Showboat. And it has got a retail value of $950. We have a starting bid of $275. We're looking for a bid of $300. And while people are calling and bidding, Ed, what can you tell us about this wonderful piece?
I love the piece very much. In fact, because I've been a fan of Paul Robeson since I was a kid. Paul Robeson was a magnificent singer and actor, but he was also a very polarizing public figure in the 1930s and 40s because of his embrace of socialism. And he actually left the country as a result of it. But none of that takes away from his artistry, no matter where you are politically. He was just, if anybody's ever heard him sing Old Man River in that voice, it's enough to make you think, yes, there is a God and he's singing to me right now. I love the piece very much. It's very detailed. It's oil on canvas, rendered very beautifully. They've kept him completely in the foreground. You see some talismanic things in the background just to suggest his life. And this looks like it could have even been inspired by when they shot Showboat, which was a magnificent film. Anyway.
It is a magnificent piece, and it's so magnificent. This is an award winner. It's an Juror Award in the figurative category, and it's oil on canvas. I, too, like the theatrical appeal of it because of Showboat reference. Paul Robeson was a wonderful actor, as you mentioned. This is by Corey Cutson Co. We're looking for a bid of $300. We're looking for a bid of $300 for item 3B, and the number to call to make that bid is 844 KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278. We're looking for a siren call of phones to be ringing, and you can make that call. It's not going to last very long. This is a beautiful piece, Ed.
I actually might bid on it myself. I'm going to sneak back there and find my cell phone. You know, Corey is, if you notice, Kelly, that the composition of this, which is quite magnificent, it's not surprising to learn that Corey Cutson Co. is an architect. Started as an architect, studied with Frank Lloyd Wright. Studied under Frank Lloyd Wright for a while and received her first architectural degree from Carnegie Mellon University and her master's in architecture from UC Berkeley. Those are pretty heavy creds. It was pretty good. And I think it all is reflected in the absolute design and composition of the piece.
We're going to check in with Dee in the phone bank. Dee, what's going on?
I am here with our first place winner in, was it Figurative? Yeah. Still Life, actually. This is Dwight Head. He is an amazing artist. Not only did Dwight give us this piece so we would make money for KVIE, he also supports so many other local artists, and he's very active in the community. This is an absolutely gorgeous frame job. This piece has a retail of $850. This frame would probably add another $500 or $600 to it. It's absolutely gorgeous. Right now, I only have a bid of $400. We need to get that up at 1-844-584-3278, and let's go back and look at some more Showboat.
Old Man River. Sorry, that was my best.
Old Man River. You got to get it down there. I'm standing in a box. That's why I'm able to do that.
There's something else you wanted to talk about.
Oh, I just wanted to mention that Corey's philosophy is quite wonderful, and she writes it down. My philosophy, don't be afraid to be different, even as all the Philistines around you are placing you in the screw-loose category. And I think Paul Robeson was a man who was not afraid to be different, to speak his mind at a time that Hollywood is very racist, Hollywood is very suspicious of anything that wasn't FDR and that entire aura of that era. And I just think it's good. She clearly identifies with her artist.
Well, it's really beautiful, and we identify with you as viewers of KVIE Public Television, and we need some bids. You need to identify with your phone right now. 844 KVIE Art, that's 844-584-3278. We're looking for a bid of $300. $300 for item 3B, Paul Robeson, 1936 Showboat. And again, that number is 844 KVIE Art, 844-584-3278. And we're going to leave it open, but we're going to move on to the next piece. This is item 3C. It is Dash by Victoria Powell. It is oil on linen, measuring 18 by 22 inches, framed by Choice Framing. Retail value is $950. It is a Juror Award as well in the figurative category. And we have a bid of $285. It looks like we're looking for a bid of $300. $300, and for this wonderful fun piece.
Well, it is
Dash.
a wonderful fun piece. I can't imagine anybody who isn't a dog lover not wanting to swipe this up. And also, if you're a fan of English literature or the English history, this is a portrait actually of a doggy that was the Queen's dog from Masterpiece's show Victoria. So I think it's pretty good. You could have a star portrait. We might try to get a paw print from it. But this is oil on linen, which is a beautiful medium. And if you could notice the absolute vibrancy of the imagery, and of course the dog is lovingly portrayed, but it has a lot of color in it, and the interesting, the blue matte, and then the blue throughout the painting. I think that it's really great, and it's a very glossy frame, so it's nobody's going to miss it in your house.
Nobody's going to miss it, but you might miss it if you don't call in now. 844 KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278 for Dash. Item 3C. It is an award winner, a Juror Award in figurative art. We're looking for a bid of $300. $300, and this is one of my favorite pieces in here for all the things that you said. It's glossy, it's vibrant, the colors are lush.
And it's a doggy, for heaven's sake. Victoria Powell, who did this painting, reveals something. If you look at the detail on the background, she reveals the fact that painting the dog was the easiest part of doing this painting. It's the ornate details of the background that really presented the challenge. But it's you're seeing it as well as we're seeing it, if not better. But it's a beautiful, beautiful piece, very, very vibrant, and it would look good anywhere in your home, but I think especially sort of where the dog kind of heads out to the backyard, so he can look up every day and yip at it. So
yip at it. Let's get the phones making some sound. 844 KVIE Art, and we are looking for a bid of $300. $300 for an award-winning piece, and we're going to check in with Dee in the phone bank. Dee, what's happening?
This is 1936 Showboat. It is in a absolutely gorgeous frame that was donated again by Choice Framing. It has a retail value of $950. This is an important, beautiful piece that needs to belong in your home. Right now, I am only looking for an opening bid of $300. So call me and give me that opening bid, and we're going to go back to Kelly and the little blue dog painting.
The little blue dog painting. This is Dash. You have something else to tell us about this, Ed.
Well, I think Victoria Powell's, it's interesting, her name is Victoria and she paints this era. Her philosophy is don't cheat yourself. Which is a good transition for you about buying the paint. I'm trying to supply these for you. But it's her philosophy, and she does talk about the fact that she said, I must have painted that couch over completely at least 3 times. But the nicest thing about it, she says, it's always worth it in the end, and I think we can agree on that.
It is. I'm going to use your segue fodder to say, don't cheat yourself. This is a wonderful painting. We have a bid of $310. We're looking for a bid of $325. $325 for a beautifully framed award award-winning piece. This is item 3C Dash by Victoria Powell. I just love the title of it too, Dash. So dash over to your phone, why don't you? 844-584-3278. We've got a bid of $350. We're looking for a bid of $375. And while you bid, let's check in with Dee over in the phone bank. Dee?
I am here with our lovely stylists. This is Jessica, who, I don't know if you can see this, gave me fabulous eyebrows. Where are you from, Jessica?
From Pioneer, California originally, but the Sacramento area, Fair Oaks area.
And where's your shop?
It's a lavender salon and blowout bar, but I go by Jessica O'Bannon Aesthetics inside the pristine lavender in Rockland, California.
And lady, she does fabulous brows. And then we have Kathy.
Hi.
And where are you from?
I'm from Sacramento. I grew up here in Sacramento.
And where's your shop?
I'm at Aesthetics by Jeanette on Butano and Watt Avenue. Yes.
We want to thank these ladies. They've been out here making us look beautiful and helping us feel better. So let's go back to Miss Kelly.
Thanks, Dee. This is item 3D. It is Summer Tomatoes by Patricia Toole McHugh. Watercolor measuring 20 by 18, framed by Choice Framing. It is a Jur Award in still life. And Ed, what can you tell us about this beautiful tomatoes painting?
Well, the first thing I must tell you is that watercolor is, I think most artists agree, the most unforgiving medium, and it's very difficult to render as beautifully as this and as lusciously as this. I can also tell you from a personal standpoint that I've been in a new home since February. I have a little garden, and I've been growing tomatoes, and I heirloom tomatoes. And so far, I have two. One of which I shared the other night for the first time, and it was great. It was tiny, but these are really beautiful. These kind of say Sacramento. If you grew up here or if you lived here for a long time, this is we call it Sacra Tomato, and it's I think it's wonderful. I mean, the Big Apple people never mind that about New York. It's a beautiful piece. It's watercolor. You mentioned the framing. And Patricia Toole McHugh points out that she didn't complete this all at one time, which I find even more interesting, because to go back in and see where you left off and what you're going to do now is actually very challenging for an artist, because you have to get the exact same energy and the exact same sensibility going again. So I love it, and I think you can see there's a variety of tomatoes in there.
It's really nice. And unlike the artist, you can't stop and come back to this because the piece is going to go quickly. This is item 3D Summer Tomatoes by Patricia Toole McHugh. We have a bid of $175. We're looking for a bid of $200 for Summer Tomatoes. And if you're a gardener or you just love tomatoes like Ed does and I do, this would be a great addition to your art collection, and it would go beautifully in your home. This is item 3D Summer Tomatoes. Bid of $175. I think we need a bid of $200. The number to call to do that bid is 1-844-KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278. And Ed, looking at this piece, looking at the framing, it looks like a picnic waiting to happen.
It really is. And you know, I must tell you, an interesting thing, if you followed collected art in the Sacramento scene, or you've been following the artists along the way, Patricia Toole McHugh's name may be familiar to you because she taught for 26 years at Sacramento City College. Wow. And one of her mentors and teachers was I'm going to get his name wrong. Larry Weldon. And actually, whom I know, and he was a fabulous mentor for her. So it's got some pedigree.
It's got some pedigree. And we're looking for an opening bid of $175. This is item 3D Summer Tomatoes. The number to call is 1-844-KVIE Art. And we're going to check in with Dee. Dee, what's happening?
I am in the phone bank with the lovely Patricia French, who is helping me with this painting. This painting is called Dash. It has got a retail of $950. It's at $500. It's been beautifully framed by Choice Framing. It is framed with museum glass, so it doesn't even look like it has glass on it. It's a gorgeous painting that kind of reminds me of those vintage paintings that you see in the big gracious homes. We're going to close it out, so call now. We're going to go back to Kelly and Ed.
Thanks, Steve. This is item 3D Summer Tomatoes. $175 is the bid. We're looking for a bid of $200. Ed, what more can you tell us about this wonderful watercolor?
Well, that Patricia Toole McHugh claims, and I'm not buying it, that she didn't start painting watercolors until she retired in 1987, I believe it is. Yeah. And this looks like somebody who's been doing it for a long, long time, much longer than that. It has a real confidence to it, a real surety of the touch, the brush, everything. So I like it very, very much.
It's really wonderful. Again, I like tomatoes. These are tomatoes that you can kind of share with everybody when you welcome them into your home. This is item 3D Summer Tomatoes. We have a bid of $175. We're looking for a bid of $200. You can keep the tomatoes fresh all year long in your home if you call 1-844-KVIE Art. That's 1-844-584-3278. And we're going to keep this open, but we're going to be moving on to item 3E. This is Happy Birthday, Chuck by Jim Hensley. It is already a bell ringer, but we're going to keep talking about this and keep it open for a little bit. It is acrylic on canvas measuring 24 by 24 inches. Retail value is $300. You hear that bell? It is a bell ringer. This is a juror award in the category of still life. And what can you tell us about Happy Birthday, Chuck?
I think I can tell you what Jim Hensley, the artist, said himself about the art. Worn shoes, job done. Miles logged, job done. Stories told, job done. Still talking, job done. An exchange student left these behind after their job was done. So it's a beautiful philosophy. His philosophy is just put paint to canvas and tell something that was not there before the job was done, and to look and to feel, and that the frame was discarded but had a little, but had a title and a price on the back. He kept most of it, and anyway, it's just it's a nice piece, and it's very vivid, and I like it, and it's one of those things that tells a story. And the fact that they were left behind shoes is kind of interesting.
Yes. Well, your job is not done unless you've picked up the phone and bid on this piece. It is a bell ringer. This is Happy Birthday, Chuck. We have a bid of $500. We're looking for a bid of $525. $525 for a Happy Birthday, Chuck by Jim Hensley. That is, again, a juror award in still life. And again, your job is not done. I can't say that enough unless you call in 844-KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278. Sneakers. This is just such a fun piece. The little frayed corner on the edge of it.
It really does. It's what I like about it too is that the very economical use of shadow, the blue in the background. But you know, looking at this very up close, and certainly on your high def KVIE image, there's texture in those shoes. You can't feel it, but you can see it, and you think you can feel it.
Well, we need to hear the phones ringing. 844-KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278. We have a bid of $550. We're looking for a bid of $575. That's item 3E, Happy Birthday, Chuck. And it is a bell ringer. That doesn't mean we're done. We need to keep hearing the bells all the time, and the bells of the phones need to keep ringing. Again, 844-KVIE Art. This is Happy Birthday, Chuck. I just want to sing a song every time I say the title of this.
Right. If we were on the Ed Sullivan Show, he would call these a really big shoe.
That's a really big shoe. But there's some big shoes to fill over in the phone bank. And Dee, what's going on over in the phone bank?
I am here in the phone bank, one of my favorite volunteers, Clayton Whitehead, who has sports leisure vacations and works so hard for the station, is going to tell us a little bit about this phone bank.
Yeah, there's another important company here in the studio tonight, and it's our volunteers from HP Enterprises. Yeah! I'll ring a bell for them as well. And you know what? Some of them are clapping, and that means their hands are not busy taking bids. Friends, it takes two to have an auction. So please call the number on your screen right now and get involved in the bidding action. You'll get a great piece of art if you're the successful bidder, and all the money goes to the most awesome cause I know, which is public television right here in the Central Valley, our very own KVIE.
Always so supportive. These volunteers have been here all night. They're here to take your calls, and we're going to go back to the incomparable Kelly and Mr. Goldman.
Mr. Goldman,
Mr. Goldman. We're very formal now. Item 3F, it is Volcano by T. Robert Darrow. This is glass measuring 20 by 20 inches by 3 inches. Retail value is $600. It is an award winner in the sculpture category. We're looking for a starting bid of $175. Beautiful piece of glasswork, Ed. What can you tell us about
Well,
this?
we can tell you what the artist told us, because I might not have known it otherwise. It's fused glass, and it was kiln fired. That's K-I-L-N. Some people pronounce it kill, some people say the N, which is just very, very gauche. It's multiple colors and blended colors of fruit and sheet glass were used to create this vibrant bowl. The name of the art piece is Volcano, reflecting the dynamic display of orange, yellow, and red hues. There's no lava in it that I can see, but it's got a real wonderful feeling. I could see this on a wall. I could see this on a credenza. I would not put salad in it and serve it, because it's just too beautiful. You don't want to cover any of it up.
It's absolutely beautiful, and the number to call to get this beautiful piece is 1-844 KVIE Art. Excuse me. This is Volcano. We're looking for a starting bid of $175. It got a little quiet in the studio because that means the phones aren't ringing. So you need to make those phones ring to have this beautiful piece of art in your home. There are plenty of volunteers ready to take your call, and the number to call is 1-844 KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278. We're looking for a starting bid of $175. And Ed, this is a really substantial sized piece, isn't it?
Oh, it is. It's great. And I think it takes a great deal of work. And in fact, Robert Darrow shared with us the fact that the art of fusing glass is exciting, frustrating, and fulfilling. And also, it's got a very optimistic feel to it. He's self-taught, which is quite amazing to me. And through years of experience and experimentation, that's how he creates his works. His ambition is to bring pleasure to those who enjoy colorful art. And he combines light and color to stimulate the beholder's imagination. I think he does with this, and I think it'd be a great addition to anybody's home.
It would be a great addition to your home. You've heard it here. We need to hear you make the phones ring. The number to call is 1-844 KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278. And we're going to check in with Dee over the phone bank. Dee, what's happening?
I am loving that piece by Robert Darrow, Volcano. Please note that piece can also go on a wall. It was an award winner. It was chosen by Lee Kavaljan, who was our sculptor juror, and he was really taken with the quality of the fusing that the artist did on the glass. So remember, it can be set flat and used as a traditional plate. It can also be set like it is on the pedestal, on a table, or it can go on the wall. But it can't go in your house unless you call 1-844-584-3278 and put in a high bid. Let's take another look at that beautiful piece of glass.
Thanks, Dee. We've got a bid of $175. We're looking for a bid of $200 for Volcano. It's a very movement kind of title for this beautiful piece that seems to be moving, and it could be moving on your wall.
Yeah, that's right. It could be moving on us. You know, it's. I should point out that because it's glass and because it's fused glass, you can put this on a pedestal like this or something in your home, where walking around behind it, it's just as fulfilling. All the colors come through, and actually almost as vividly. Yeah, just as vividly. So it's really, it's a three-dimensional piece with three-dimensional color. It's just great for your three-dimensional life.
And Dee is actually going to move it for us.
Move that for me.
Gingerly. We are looking for a bid of $250. This is item 3F. It is Volcano. Again, this is a juror award in sculpture. You're not going to get a piece like this every day. You can't find it anywhere else but here in KVIE. And we're going to leave it open. And now we are going to, please stay tuned because there's more art coming up in the next half hour in the KVIE Art Auction.
At Crow & Decker, we are proud to support public broadcasting and the local arts community. Crow & Decker, serving the needs of businesses throughout California and the United States. Proud supporters of public broadcasting.
KVIE is committed to the visual and performing arts through national productions like Poldark and Victoria, to our local production of KVIE Arts Showcase and the KVIE Gallery, now in its third year of celebrating award-winning auction artists and California Masters. KVIE's commitment to the arts stays strong because of your participation as a donor and art buyer. Thank you for being part of the KVIE Art Auction and for making art a part of your home today.
Stay tuned for Food and Wine coming up next on the KVIE Art Auction. This collection celebrates a passion for great food and great refreshment in all media. View all of the art featured in this year's auction at kvie.org/art auction.
Hello again, I'm Kelly Rains, and we're back with another exciting collection of original works of art up for bid. And during this half hour, we're celebrating food and wine. And now here's an overview of the art that will be up for bid during the next half hour. Item 4A. Actually, I would like to introduce my compadre first. We are pleased to be joined again by Ed Goldman to talk about the art in our food and wine break. Thanks for being here, Ed. Now I'm going to go through the list of art. This is item 4A. It is The Winemaker by Abigail Van Cannon. It is oil on canvas measuring 36 by 24 inches. It has got a retail value of $1,500. Item 4B is Autumn Vineyard, Amador County by Mark Cohen. This is photography measuring 19 by 25 inches. Retail value is $300. Item 4C is Napa Golden Rolling Hills by Maggie McGurk. This is mixed media measuring 16 by 20 inches. It is framed by Archival Gallery. Retail value is $275. Item 4D is Pumpkins on Parade by Gloria Vernon. This is pastels measuring 16 by 30 inches. Retail value is $400. Item 4E is Tea at Pemberley by Stephanie Nickel. This is watercolor measuring 29 by 37 inches. The retail value is $750. Item 4F is Wine Lover's Birdhouse by Carol Klunger. This is sculpture measuring 13 by 5 by 11 inches. The retail value is $175. And again, I am with Ed Goldman. Ed, it is a wonderful privilege to have you here.
Okay. Thank you. It's a wonderful privilege for me to be invited every year. I appreciate it a lot, Kelly. And I always like when we work together because of your amazing segues. I'm just absolutely charmed by them.
Well, it's very appreciated. Let's be charmed by this beautiful
artwork.
I
am actually. For those of you who are new to California, you probably came here and said, boy, this got quite a serious wine culture here. And in fact, this artist, Abigail Van Cannon, transplanted here from Iowa, where she says the big emphasis was on corns and beans and not on wine. And so she says it's been fun to learn about the many different wine regions sprinkled around the state. I love the process of winemaking, going to the wineries and tasting, and the friendly community surrounding them. And this is a painting about the process of winemaking, make no mistake about it. And it has almost a sepia feel to it, which gives it an air of timelessness to me.
I like that. This is item 4A, the winemaker. It has got a retail value of $1,500. We've got a bid of $450. We're looking for a bid of $475. Item 4A, the winemaker. And I like how you talked about this is about the process of making wine.
Well, I stole it from the painter, I must tell you. But it is really, it's a dynamic piece, and you can see that just where the person's obviously holding up the glass to the light to see what he will determine. There's a lot of stuff going on in it, and for those people who say, "Oh, that looks like a photograph," she admits fully that Abigail Van Cannon that she worked from a photograph of most specifically winemaker Peter Ficklin of Ficklin Vineyards. Try saying that fast. And she worked for a spell at Ficklin Wilcox Tasting Room in Midtown, and they decorated some of the walls with these beautiful black and white photographs. I loved the strong diagonal lines created by the winemaker holding up the glass and Wine Thief. After seeing it regularly, I decided to paint it with permission from the family, of course.
It's wonderful. I really like that. This is item 4A, and you would really like this in your home. I just know you would. We're looking for a bid of $475. Item 4A, the winemaker. You can be a phone ringer maker. And let's get it up to $500. And the number to call is 1-844-KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278 for item 4A. We're looking for a bid of $500. $500, Ed, for this beautiful sepia-toned, as you mentioned, painting that would go beautifully in a dining room or a kitchen.
Anywhere. You know, the nice thing about this, too, and what I really like about what the artist has to say about her work, is that she loves the process of making art. And for anybody who's an artist in any kind of medium, it has sometimes less to do with the finished product than it does the making of it. Here, she obviously depicts somebody who enjoys the process of his art, which is making wine.
That's beautiful. And the process of making the phones ring is happening over in the phone bank, and Dee's going to tell us more. Dee, what's happening?
Clayton, what's that number?
It is 1-844-584-3278, which spells KVIE Art. Friends, it's not an auction unless there are two people, so call in and get involved in the bidding right now.
We have a phone bank standing ready to take your bids. It's really simple. If you're not registered, you can call in and do that. Get online at kvie.org/art auction. Go through all the artwork and pick out your favorite pieces. You don't want to be up in the kitchen making your peanut butter and jelly sandwich when your favorite piece comes on.
Absolutely not. Who needs peanut butter when you can have this great art hanging on the walls of your home within the next day or two?
And the only way to do it is to call the number, get online, look it up, and pick up and pay is tomorrow so you can bring it right home.
The number's right there on your screen.
Speaking of bringing it home, I'm going to send it out to Miss Kelly.
Thank you, Dee. We're trying to bring it home. We're also trying to make the phones ring. We're with item 4B. This is Autumn Vineyard, Amador County. We've got a bid of $100. We're looking for a bid of $125. And this is it's a photograph measuring 19 by 25 inches by Mark Cohen. And Ed, I love Amador County. And this is a beautiful piece for anybody who loves wine or the Amador County region.
I agree.
What can you tell us about it?
Well, I can tell you that Mark is indebted to the photographers who came before him, because as he says, it's very charmingly, as I can't draw worth a damn, I'm eternally grateful to Louis Daguerre, Matthew Brady, George Eastman, and all of the rest of the creative geniuses who dreamed up photography. So he's actually saying, this is my art, this is what I can do. And it's a beautiful piece. The composition is great, the colors just pop out at you, and it's sort of like an ideal day in the Napa Valley.
It's really beautiful. We have a bid of $100. Let's get the bid up to $125. Autumn Vineyard, Amador County. We live in such a beautiful region that is northern and central California, and you can celebrate that region by getting this piece of art, by also celebrating your local public television station, KVIE. The number to call is 844-KVIE Art. We're looking for a bid of $125 for this beautiful piece, item 4B. Autumn Vineyard, Amador County.
And I made an error. I said Napa County when I was talking. It is definitely Amador County. It looks entirely different.
Well, we're so privileged to live in wine country, and we're also privileged to have you as viewers. KVIE Art, that's 844-KVIE Art, and you are a part of the community that is part of this region, Amador County and everything around it, but you're also part of the public television community. And Ed, tell us more about this piece.
Well, as Mark himself puts it, with respect to the creative dimension of photography, this issue has been addressed more eloquently and with greater precision by many other people. From my perspective, this is Mark speaking, I believe that an image, any image, either speaks to you or to some extent, or it doesn't. Some images are, for some, they may not jump right out at you, but in other words, choose what you like. And I would say that to anybody watching the art auction, buy something because it speaks to you, because you like it. Just you like it. That's what you have to do about art. It has to reach you.
Well, if you like this piece, pick up the phone, 844-KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278. And we're going to check in with Dee with a very important announcement. Dee, what's going on?
I am pleased to let everybody know we ran a People's Choice Award. We did it online. Everybody looked at the work and made their choice. This piece was an award winner. It was first in photography, and it is also our People's Choice Award for 2017. Tomorrow at 2:30, you can bid on the piece. This piece is not up now, but call us tomorrow at 2:30 and you can bid on it. Meanwhile, call us at 1-844-584-3278 and bid now. We're going to go back to Ed and Kelly.
Thanks, Steve. That was really exciting news. This is item 4C. It is very exciting, too. This is Napa Golden Rolling Hills by Maggie McGurk. Mixed media measuring 16 by 20 inches, framed by Archival Gallery. Retail value is $275. Ed, we've moved from Amador County to the Napa Golden Rolling Hills.
Well, yes, this is obviously nothing looks quite like this because of Maggie's excellent, interesting use of color. I have to tell you, and tell viewers, I've known Maggie McGurk for many, many years. She was a wonderful photographer, still continues to be, and as she's moved away from simply photography, she's gotten into all kinds of collage work, mixed media expressions, and this is really a very, very vibrant piece, as you can tell. It would brighten up any wall anywhere. And she loves using vibrant colors to make her art stand out, as she says. And she started with capturing a wonderful scene, then she manipulated it in Photoshop, then more fun, she paints with acrylic, and this makes every piece of her art an original.
It is such a beautiful piece. I love pink. If I wasn't standing here right now, I'd probably bid on it. This is Napa Golden Rolling Hills. We've got a bid of $60. We're looking for a bid of $75. Bid of $75 for item 4C, mixed media measuring 16 by 20 inches, framed by Archival Gallery. The retail value is $275, so we're asking for a bid of $75 for this energetic and very vibrant, I think you said, piece.
Yeah, it's it is very vibrant. Actually, again, with the high def, you can really see how bright it really is. It looks that way even up close. What I like about Maggie's work is that she's one of the most open artists I think I've ever known. She will reveal process to you, and she can lecture on it. She can talk about it, and she often uses herself as a subject. Obviously, not here. And I should point out too that on Thursday of this week, I had my column in the Sacramento Business Journal about this auction featured a picture of Maggie made up and actually posing for one of her own pieces. So she's a lot of fun. She's a wonderful person. For many, many years, you saw her at every event you went to in town taking photographs.
Well, we've got a bid of $60. We've got a bid of $100. Let's get a bid of $125. This is item 4C, Napa Golden Rolling Hills. We live in wine country. It's a great way to capture that part of the world and put it into your home. Beautiful colors. The number to call is 844-KVIE Art. That's 1-844-584-3278. It's got a little quiet in the studio, and I don't want to whisper because I want the phones to ring. And let's go over to the phone bank and see what's happening.
Hi, it's Clayton and Jessica in the phone bank, and our volunteers from HP Enterprises are standing by waiting to hear from you.
The number to call is 1-844-KVIE Art. That's 1-844-584-3278. The process to register to bid is super simple. Pick up the phone, and one of our friendly phone operators will want to talk to you. And now let's go back to Ed and Kelly.
Thanks, Jessica and Clayton. We're with item 4C. We've got a bid of $125. We're looking for a bid of $150. And while you're bidding, Ed, what else can you tell us?
Well, I can tell you that even though this looks ultra modern and ultra up to date and computer generated and all that stuff, it's actually a photograph that Maggie took and then she painted over it, and that harkens back to a whole other medium and a whole other age when people would take black and white photographs and they would hand color them or hand paint them. So you're still starting with a really striking image, but then what you do to it is really your own.
What you do to it is really your own, and public television is really your own when you support it, especially. It's 1-844-KVIE Art. That's the number to call, 844-584-3278. We've got a bid of $175. We're going to leave it open, but we're going to move on to the next piece, and that's item 4D. It is Pumpkins on Parade by Gloria Vernon. It is pastels measuring 16 by 30 inches. Retail value is $400. We've got a bid of $200. We're looking for a bid of $225. And while you're calling in with your bid, Ed, what can you tell us about this beautiful pastel piece?
Well, I think what I can tell you and everybody else is that you are a pastel artist, and you'll have a piece in on Sunday that will actually, and the auctioneer for that part will be my daughter. So I think there's something incestuous about this whole thing. This is a beautifully done pastel piece. Pastels are very, very difficult to work in, and to get this kind of clarity and vibrancy is not easy at all. You have, and in pastels, you have so many pastels. I just found this out this past week, how many you can usually use. And one pastel might be a variation of a color by this much, and just by a tiny bit. So these are great. I was going to make some joke about Donald Trump, but I decided to drop it because all the pumpkins. But it's a beautiful harvest piece. It would be something that you'd probably love to have when people come over this year for Thanksgiving or for Christmas to your home.
And pastels are such a difficult medium, like you say, to get such beautiful, clean detail in. It's really, really beautiful. This is item 4D, Pumpkins on Parade. It's a fun title. We've got a bid of $200. We're looking for a bid of $225. $225 for Pumpkins on Parade. How often do you get to say that? That's a great conversation starter, too.
Sounds a little scary, actually.
Or fun, scary fun. It's your choice. Your choice to call 1-844-KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278 for this beautiful pastels piece.
I was going to mention that Gloria Vernon says she works mainly with, and I'm going to get all these names, I'm going to botch up the pronunciation of, with soft pastels, but they're called sennelier or sennelier pastels, and Lacarte sanded pastel paper. And these materials, she says, affords her a vibrant color and a strong paper tooth to grab the media, which I like that expression quite a bit. To grab the tooth, meaning just the heart of the piece.
Yeah, pastels are a very active and moving kind of art form. And this is item 4D. We need the phones to move to make sounds. And you can do that by calling 1-844-KVIE Art. That's 1-844-584-3278. We have a bid of $225. We're looking for a bid of $250 for Pumpkins on Parade. I like the alliteration in there. I like saying the title. I love this piece. It would be beautiful in a dining room or an alcove of a kitchen. And is there anything else you can tell us about this?
Well, just the fact that Gloria is very out front about the fact that she's developed her technique over the years. And if you look at pastels, and for those of you who may have used them as a child in school, you're actually smeared. It's a very smearing technique, and you might do it with the pastel. It's doing an overlay of a pastel color. You might do it with your fingers. But in any event, these colors don't just go on there just like that. These are blended and really, really cured almost by the artist.
Thanks, Ed. We're going to go over into the phone bank and talk to Rob. Rob, what's happening?
Thank you, Kelly, and we're so glad you're with us tonight on our kickoff night of the KVIE Art Auction. It's our 36th year, and the phone lines are ringing very, very steadily here. This is Michael here, one of our volunteers, and the whole group is just talking to so many people like you. You need to get on the phone and call 1-844-584-3278 if you see a piece that you would like to place a bid on, because what is she talking to you? I hear that. Say hey. So you want to call right now, pardon me, and get on that line and make your bid, because they go like that. Back across the studio.
Thanks, Rob. This is item 4E, Tea at Pemberley. This is a beautiful piece by Stephanie Nickel. It is watercolor measuring 29 by 37 inches, impressive size. Retail value is $750. We have a bid of $550. We're looking for a bid of $575, Ed. And we talked earlier, this makes us want to talk in very English accents.
Yes, Tea at Pemberley, don't you know, Kelly? This is by Stephanie Nickel, and actually, we're not being that far out of line by doing that, because she says that this was inspired by Pride and Prejudice, the novel, not the law firm. It's a really wonderful piece. It's so delicate and so evocative of another time that I think any of you who maybe has a home that has traditional furniture, traditional accoutrement, this would be a wonderful addition.
It's absolutely beautiful. This is item 4E, Tea at Pemberley. We've got a bid of $550. We're looking for a bid of $575. And you can place that bid by calling 1-844-KVIE Art. That's 1-844-584-3278. 4E, Tea at Pemberley by Stephanie Nickel. What else can you tell us?
I can tell you what she said about her own work that I absolutely can see. She believes in painting windows in time. That's a continuing theme for her.
Nice.
And it's not so much that there's a window in there. It has to do with that it's capturing just this piece of a time that none of us will know except by watching Pride and Prejudice or Downton Abbey and all that. So it catches very much. And if those of you who've read novels like Pride and Prejudice and your imagination went crazy trying to picture all these places, this would be a nice thing to have nearby as you're enjoying your tea and crumpet, don't you know?
Yes. And bring the drama home with an English accent or not. This is item 4E, Tea at Pemberley. We've got a bid of $550. We're looking for a bid of $575 for this wonderful, beautiful watercolor. Beautiful, iconic, beautiful size. Everything's gorgeous. 844-KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278. That's the number to call. We've got a bid of $550. And we're going to check in with Rob over in the phone bank. Rob, what's going on?
Well, speaking of the phone bank, it's so nice standing here and chatting with everybody, because they're like, we got somebody really excited on the phone, and we just love hearing that. So thank you for calling in at 1-844-584-3278. Get involved in the auction. Want to remind you that our art pickup is Saturday and Sunday from noon. Heath, is it noon to 5? Noon to 5. And Heath Buckmaster's producer in the control room telling me it's noon. When is it? Saturday, Sunday, noon to 5. Monday and Tuesday, noon to 6. Great. So we have the next 4 days where you can pick up the art that you are seeing right now on the screen. It is so much fun to get involved in the auction and then come pick it up. And the art is ready to go in your home for you or for a gift. 844-584-3278. Get involved, and let's head back across the studio.
Thanks, Rob. Rob is right. It's a lot of fun to be a part of this auction. You can be a part of it too by calling 844-KVIE Art, where you've got a bid of $600 for item 4E. Ed, what else can you tell us about this piece?
Well, you know, you've mentioned on a few of these pieces how they seem to have motion to them, how they seem to have movement. And actually what's pretty clear here from Stephanie's explanation, and you can see it as you look at it, she moves in great broad brush strokes in different directions. And so you can see things flowing this way, that way, this way, that way, coming down here, going out there, and it makes you can clearly see the focus of the painting, but it also makes you actually feel like you're part of it, you're part of the swirl of it.
Well, I'm going to use that as a segue. You can be part of the swirl of KVIE Public Television and part of the art auction and supporting your community by bidding on this beautiful piece. We've got a bid of $600. We're looking for a bid of $625. $625 KVIE Art. That's 844 KVIE Art. And we're going to keep it open where we're going to move on to the next piece. And that next piece is item 4F. It is Wine Lover's Birdhouse by Carol Klunger. It is a sculpture measuring 13 by 5 by 11 inches. Retail value is $175. We're looking for a starting bid of $50. $50 for this wine lover's birdhouse, but we're all art lovers here as well. What can you tell us about this piece?
Well, I can tell you that there's a lot of materials used in this, which is part of the fun of it. It's a wonderful, fun piece. You have a lot of cork, you have advertisements, you have corkscrew coming through, and it's an actual birdhouse, although you probably don't want to expose it to too many elements. It looks like it's been treated nicely, but it's very, very cleverly done. It's a school of art where you use found objects. I do this kind of art myself. I call them stolen objects because I'm honest about it. But it's very nice. As she says, as Carol says, much of my art is inspired by what I see in nature or by voids that I see in people's yards or even their lives that need to be filled. So as we used to tell our children, use your voids. This is one piece that will actually do that for you.
It's really nice. Well, I'm going to tell you to use your phones. 1-844-KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278. We're looking for a starting bid of $50 for item 4F, Wine Lover's Birdhouse. It's a retail value of $175, but we're looking for a starting bid of $50. And this is by Carol Klunger. And if you love wine, if you love birdhouses, if you like birds who drink wine, this is a beautiful, fun piece, isn't it?
You know, she opens up quite a bit about the way she's done this. The body of the birdhouse is made from reclaimed wood. The roof has been covered with salvaged corks, and the majority of those labels used to cover the sides have been stripped from empty wine bottles. That's the stolen aspect. I was telling you, no, they're empty wine bottles, so they've been used, that have been given to me by friends. Finally, the perch was made from an old wine opener. So it's very clever, very nicely put together, and it's a great piece. You talk about having a conversation piece in your home. This is the one.
It's a great piece, and we're going to have more conversation with Dee over in the phone bank. Dee, what's going on?
I am standing next to Stephanie Nichols T at Pemberley. This is a beautiful watercolor. I want to take this time to remind you how important art is in our homes and to our families. This is the type of piece that gets handed down from generation to generation. Art is not just something we decorate with. Art is something that we live with. And if you want to live with this beautiful piece, the current bid is $600. You call 1-844-584-3278 and invest in something your children will fight over. Let's go back to Kelly.
Thanks, Dee. We're with item 4F, Wine Lover's Birdhouse. I'm with Ed Goldman. We're looking for a bid of $75. Ed, what else can you tell us?
Well, I just wanted to mention that the artist shared part of her technique as well, and this has all been painted over with urethane, which protects it not entirely from the elements. This is, as she says, this is not an all-weather piece. You probably don't want to leave it out in the rain, but I don't know why you'd want to anyway. But it's durable. It's not going to crack or spoil, keeping it in a a normally conditioned, air-conditioned, heated home. So it's a protected and very nice piece.
It's really fun. Every time you look at it, you see something different, just like you see something different on KVIE Public Television, and you can support that mission by calling right now and bidding on this piece, item 4F. We're looking for a bid of $75, and that is Wine Lovers Birdhouse, item 4F again. The number to call, 1-844-KVIE Art. That's 844-584-3278. We're going to check in with Rob. Rob, what's going on?
We're over here with Clayton Whitehead in the phone bank. Hewlett Packard Enterprise is here talking to people who are calling in. Thank you. Yeah. Good job, HPE. Thank you. This is Clayton Whitehead, and you are a world traveler as well as a 24-year volunteer here. So thank you for your service. And art is like travel, but it's in your home.
Absolutely. It's one of the things looking around the collection, I've seen so many things places I've been to, and this is a chance to get a souvenir, I guess, to hang on your wall. That's what Margaret Crocker did. The beautiful collection we have here at our Crocker Art Museum. It was literally their souvenir chest from all of their European travels. So now our viewers have a chance to travel and enjoy and savor the flavors of this great art, put it on the walls of your home, and support KVIE at the same time.
And we are your travel channel. We are your arts channel, and this weekend, this art is for you, and all of the money goes to support KVIE, your public broadcasting system. Let's go back across the studio to Kelly and Ed.
We're with Wine Lovers Birdhouse. Maybe your favorite bird could come perch on here. Maybe even Icarus could perch here. I'm going to slowly rotate the piece. We're looking for a bid of $75, item 4F, and I'm going to rotate it, Ed.
I'm glad you're doing that, because one thing that I think Carol Klunder has in mind, and that you might have in mind looking at this, is that this will make an ideal gift. This time of year, everybody gives gifts as host or hostess presents, and they get regifted, and those gifts get regifted, which is why there's a fruitcake with rings on it somewhere. This is something I don't think you're going to want to give away, but it's a beautiful gift. It would be just a perfect addition to somebody's knickknacks and the things they show in their house.
So there's such fun things on here. The little corkscrew perch. There's a little medallion corkscrew hanging off the top.
There's actually also a little drunk bird inside the. It's passed out inside the birdhouse.
We're looking for a bid of $100. $100 for item 4F, Wine Lovers Birdhouse. The number to call is 844-KVIE Art. And please stay tuned, because there's more art coming up in the next half hour in the KVIE Art Auction.
Bring your brushes, bring your palettes, gonna paint that sunset tonight.
Welcome to the 36th annual KVIE Art Auction. Join us all weekend for a celebration of Northern California's visual arts. Over 260 pieces will be auctioned off to the highest bidder, and you can be part of the action by watching and bidding on your favorite pieces. View the entire collection online at kvie.org/art-auction. Then, when your favorite item appears, call 1-844-KVIE-ART to place your bid. Auction proceeds benefit the programs and services of your local PBS station, KVIE. So thank you for watching and bidding. And now, let the auction begin. Picking up your purchased art is quick and easy to do. Visit KVIE Studios Saturday through Tuesday during these posted hours to claim your art. All purchased art must be claimed within 30 days of auction closure. For questions, location, and hours, visit kvie.org/art-auction. Thank you for being part of the KVIE Art Auction and for making art a part of your home today.
Stay tuned for Contemporary Classics coming up next on the KVIE Art Auction. Juried by Brenda Louie, this category features abstract and non-objective works in all media. View all of the art featured in this year's auction at kvie.org/art-auction.
Well, welcome back. We're with a whole nother hour of beautiful art. I just ran over here talking to Dee, and it's so pretty. Hello, I'm Rob Stewart, and we're in the final hour of tonight's art auction, but we're here all weekend long. And then we'll be back tomorrow, as I just mentioned, from noon for day 2, and it goes until 10 o'clock tomorrow, right, Dee? 10 tomorrow night?
Yes.
Yep, thank you so
noon
much.
To 10.
Okay, over the next hour, we will have the opportunity to bid on and buy original works of art that are in our Contemporary Classics collection, and this is a beautiful set. This portion of KVIE Art Auction is sponsored by Crow & Decker, and we would like to thank them for their commitment to supporting the arts on KVIE. Okay, let's check out the art in this half hour. I love this collection. This first piece is The Regatta by Doug Smith. It's such a cool aerial view of all of these beautiful boats, very Tahoe-ish. It's acrylic on paper measuring 24 by 24. Retail value is at $500, and we're having a starting bid call for $150. The next piece is On the Other Side of the River by Dawn E. Green. It's acrylic on canvas. It's measuring at 24 by 18. The retail value is $350. Okay, item 5C is a stunner. Oh, I love that. It's Montana Peaks by Jill Estroff. This is acrylic. It's on canvas, measuring 22 by 46, and the value is at $650 on this. Also, the next piece is Juggling Act 5D by John Stewart Berger, and this is acrylic on board, measuring 22 by 22. It is such a fun piece, and there you see, that is the way it is supposed to be hanging. The bird is just flying through the air, and that's a $700 retail value. Also, 5E is The Palace of Fine Arts by Kurt Hossman. And this is acrylic on board. It's measuring 25 by 29. It's a large piece, and it is a retail value of $840. Interesting number. Item 5F is Green Damsels by Susan Sylvester. It's encaustic, measuring 16 by 16. The retail value is $1,200. And, drum roll please, that is the first place winner for Contemporary Classics. And those are dragonflies in there.
Isn't that beautiful?
Which means that someone you love is near. All right, during this break, we're pleased to be joined by Dee Oldham-Neath. She's the KVIE Art Curator and the only art curator on staff at a PBS station, get down, Dee, in the entire country. And she's ours. Welcome, Dee Neath. We're so glad to have you. I was trying to give you a big bump there. Okay, so Dee, this is our first night. You selected the time slots for all the pieces.
I wanted to end, because it's kind of later in the night, and we did so many traditional pieces, to go kind of to the other end of the spectrum. So now we're going to do a group of really poppy, fun, contemporary pieces.
Okay, I love this piece. And I love how he signed on the side here, Smith. It's about 1.5 inches thick.
Yeah, it stands out really far from the wall. We're looking at it at an easel. So, on an easel, so we can't appreciate the depth. It's about 2 inches.
There's your hand on it so you can see.
Yeah, it's about 2 inches back.
Okay.
And it's acrylic on a board that he's put a coating on.
Oh, it's board.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
So the piece is actually fairly light. What a fun piece in Tahoe. The artist has created the illusion of a lot of movement by having all the squiggly lines and the bright colors against each other.
It's really cool, and it's very fun. And it's a heavy piece, too.
Yeah,
I like that. Oh, it looks like plaster.
Yeah, he's gone over it with plaster like you make a cast out of.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what gives it its really great texture and makes it kind of sculptural.
It does look like that, and I noticed that when I was on the phone bank spot, a few minutes ago. I could see that texture from across the room. 1-844-584-3278, and the easy way to remember that is 844 KVIE Art. You can watch us on air, or you can call someone anywhere in the country and have them go on to kvie.org/art auction. We are getting orders from other places in the country as well. So Dee, this is the beautiful piece by Doug Smith, and you picked this piece for this hour and for the collection.
It's called The Regatta. Doug is very good at using alternative mediums. He's not a flat paint on canvas kind of guy.
So does that make it harder?
I think it adds a bit to it, and I think, commanding that many different mediums at the same time, sort of crossing that bridge between sculpture and flat painting. I love this piece because I'm a Tahoe girl. It reminds me of Emerald Bay.
Oh, yeah.
The water is just that crazy color.
It is, and the water goes from blue to green, Emerald Bay.
Yeah.
But it's such a lovely place.
And when they do that, the wooden boat show up there, and all the beautiful boats are out there, it's just a piece that makes you smile.
It does.
You know, it adds a huge pop of color to any room. If you're a person that boats regularly at Lake Tahoe, what a nice thing to have in your office to remind you of not being at work.
Or if you can't boat regularly because it's too expensive, and that would be me, can't boat regularly, you could take on a piece of art and just kind of fantasize about it when you see it. It's good to have a vision board to dream of what you want, right?
That's right.
Doug Smith did this beautiful piece, and it's $500, and we've got $225. That's fantastic. So we're right at half of the retail value.
It's a beautiful piece. Remember, when the artist gave us this piece, he wanted us to have a $500 donation. Anything you pay above that $500 to make this into a bell ringer and get our eternal gratitude is a tax-deductible donation.
So it's above the bell ringer
Above the bell
status.
ringer.
Okay.
Anyways,
and also
the
they want us to
regatta.
check in. Yeah, the regatta is Doug Smith. Dee will be right back with you. Let's go across the way.
Hi, I'm Devin Cortan, your humble and loyal intern. And people, let's just talk numbers here. If everybody in our viewing audience donated $1.35, we wouldn't have to fundraise at all. So put that in the context of a beautiful piece of art. If you donate or bid $200 on a piece of art, not only are you way exceeding that amount, but you're getting a beautiful piece of art for your home, and you're continuing the service of a wonderful utility of public television in your area. Clayton,
Amen.
what do they do? What do they do?
Absolutely. You just have to call the number on your screen, friends. 1-844-584-3278. We have some great volunteers standing by. It's quick. It's simple. Call now and become a part of the auction. Bid high, bid often, and take home one of these beautiful pieces of art. You know, I was not an art collector when I came to Sacramento, but 24 years ago I attended my first art auction, and now I have 9 pieces.
That is absolutely incredible. So call that number and let's talk to Rob.
Devin was not born on your first auction. Did you know that? I just got to throw that out there.
Ouch!
We keep it real here, or mine, either, by the way. All right, so this is 5B on the other side of the river. And Clayton was only 1, don't worry, he was 1 when he started here. And this piece is beautiful, $350 retail value, and the high bid right now is at $200. This is by Dawn Green.
It is a very meditative piece, which is interesting because the artist says that she uses the creation of her artwork to kind of channel a little bit of serenity.
And she brought the painting around the side. Oh, is that Encaustic?
No, this one that we're coming up on Encaustic.
Got it.
This one was actually painted using some brushes, but mostly sponges.
Oh, okay.
That's how she gets the nice swirling clouds and mixes in the colors, so the color changes are really subtle.
It's beautiful. And,
Yeah.
and we talked about this in the first hour when we were on the air, and I don't want to make this a throwaway statement, but I hear blue is hard. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's a power in blue. You know, it's a very calm and serene color.
Yes.
She's done a great job of mixing in some, look, you can't even see it with my polish, but mixing in some really great teals in here.
I see that, yeah.
And it just has that Sacramento feel.
I love
the way the light when the sun comes up over the river in the morning.
I love the fact that it looks like somewhere along the Delta, Dee. I love that.
It does have that. It does have that Sacramento Delta feel to it.
And you can have it if you call 1-844-584-3278. And Dee, the Sacramento feel is lovely, but I also see this regionally.
Yes. It does feel a little bit, it even has sort of a beachy feel, mainly because of her color choice. The piece is not framed. This is what they call a gallery wrap. When the artist paints, the horizon line actually goes all the way around the back. So it's a very contemporary, clean look. It's meant to stand out on the wall
how pretty it is there,
without a frame. Putting it in a frame would kind of box it in, and instead of feeling like you were standing outside, you'd be feeling like you were looking out a window.
Does it matter what color the wall is that you put this on, since it will touch the wall?
No, not at all. What's nice about people these days is they're getting really brave with their colors in their homes.
Yeah, very.
So no longer is it just the big plain white wall. This would be beautiful on a dark gray wall or even a bright red wall.
Oh, yeah. Very cool. I love the mix of color. This can be yours. We have a bid right now of $300 for On the Other Side of the River.
Retail.
Yeah, almost there at $350. We're going to call this a bell ringer, and that's going to be great because Look, our regatta is up to 4. We need to get that to 5. This is at 3. We need $50 more for a bell ringer. And Dee, these prices are set based on the art.
This is what they sell for in galleries. These are professional artists that show in local galleries, and these are all original pieces. I can't stress that enough. We do not sell reproductions. We do not sell prints.
And I also want to bring up that you are a gallery owner at Archival. Would you have any piece here tonight, honestly, in your studio?
I do not pick. I had 800 pieces to pick from. So I picked pieces that spoke to me and pieces that I knew would resound with the audience. The difference between curating for this show and a regular gallery show is these pieces need to translate onto the TV as well.
Okay, all right.
So
you have a good eye.
Thank you.
Yeah, a very good eye. And clearly you do, because look, it's a bell ringer. Ring it up. That's awesome. We got a bell ringer. Oh, look, there's Kenny right there. How cute. All right, let's go across the way and check in with the phone bank. Hey, guys.
This is an amazing night here at the art auction, friends. We're here in the phone bank with Hewlett-Packard Enterprises, and there's still 1, 2, 3 people that don't have a call. So go to your phones now and call your public television station and get involved in this awesome auction.
That's right, 844 KVIE Art. That's the number to call. We're hearing from folks all over the region.
Even Illinois.
Illinois, Texas is called, as well as several local cities throughout our region. We've heard from Davis and Woodland and Roseville, and you name it, everybody is calling. So we're going to send back over to Rob, hear more about the art.
Yeah, I have seen this. Dee was just telling me, and I knew I recognized this artist. We'll tell you why in a minute. So this is Jill Estroff, 5C, Montana Peaks. It's acrylic on canvas, measuring 22 by 46, retail at $650, with the auctions open, by the way, on the other 2 pieces as well. This piece, I've seen this artist at Tim Collins' studio, I believe.
Yeah,
okay.
She was in his summertime show. She's shown there a couple times.
Look at that on the screen, how pretty that is.
Yeah, she's also done, let me see. She just did 2 Jills and No Jack at the Red Dot Gallery. That was a great little show. She's one of my favorite artists because Jill visits almost every show in my gallery, which means not only is she learning by taking classes and things like that, but she comes in and seriously studies other artists' work. And
always be a student, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah, and you can see the Sacramento sort of influence on her work with the bright blues that are so well known in this valley, even though this is actually a Montana piece. And then her brave use of color down here with the oranges. You know, she's very painterly. She paints with a loose brush, and you know, she's very passionate about what she does. And I believe she paints almost every day.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's incredible to be able to paint every
She's
single day.
She's dedicated to her craft.
Absolutely.
For sure.
That is a beautiful piece. Talking about being a student of your entire life. Gregory Condos, who's in his 90s, says he is still a student.
He's still learning a little bit every day.
And he's still painting. Also, this is Montana Peaks. It's beautiful. We're looking to take this up to a $175 starting bid. It has a retail value of $650. That would be pre-frame estimate, and the frame is beautiful too.
Yeah, it was beautifully framed by the artist in what we call a plein air frame. It's a real traditional frame that has an underlay of gold leaf on it and a dark patina on the top.
I thought plein air meant that you paint unseen.
You do, but this is a plein air frame is a real typical frame that's put on plein air work.
Okay.
Yeah, it's also used to describe the frame.
I love that you know all this stuff. That's why they're curator, right?
And I like the fact that it's traditional, but it's a really great piece for a contemporary home. You know, she takes more of a contemporary style with her painting, and then she puts this real traditional frame on it, and they marry really well.
So let me ask you something. What to you is the appeal of plein air painting, and how can you tell?
Not necessarily. You know, a lot of artists, I know Jill does some of that. A lot of artists will start a piece outdoors because they're trying to get a color or something just right, and then they'll finish it in the studio.
Oh, okay, wow.
Because, you know, if you're painting a winter scene in Yosemite, when it's 16 degrees outside, it gets a little hard to hold the brush steady.
Right. Or when it's 116 degrees. So this is, now we have an auction going at $175 for Montana Peaks with a retail of $650. And I like that you know which pieces were done on scene and plein air. Is that the right way to say it? And I think that that's neat because it's a conversation piece. This person, painted it in Montana.
And she's just all over the place in Sacramento. She's very well known for her landscapes. She does some still lives, and I've even seen her do some figures. But this is very typical of her work with the real broad brush strokes and the real brave use of color.
All righty, let's check in across the studio with Jessica. Hey.
Hey there, we are having a lot of fun here in the phone bank. I'm looking over at the screens, I'm seeing some familiar names placing bids and also some first-time bidders, which is great. Like I said before, the process to register to bid is super easy. Just pick up the phone and call 1-844-KVIE Art or 1-844-584-3278. There are some beautiful pieces in this break. We are looking for some bids on 5D juggling act, and along the way there is just some incredible art coming. So now we're going to send it back to Rob and Dee for some more great art.
Thank you so much. This is John Stewart Berger. 5D, it's juggling act, and this is acrylic on board, measuring 22 by 22, nice size. Retail value is $700, and we have a starting bid of $200. Dee, take it away. By the way, John is a great guy.
I know. We just had a conversation off air that both Rob and I are huge fans, not just of John's work, but John works at the Short Center with developmentally disabled artists. He has one of the nicest kids. Totally polite boy when he comes in my gallery. But I love John's work. I have been following his career since he was 19 years old.
Oh, wow.
He's very well established in Sacramento. He's known for his great sort of pushing the envelope of the cartoony.
It's fun.
Yeah, they're always really fun. Lately, he's been doing these figures, and most of his figures are animals, where they're inverted or they're upside down or they're just in an odd angle. What I love about this is that he's carrying an entire tree.
Oh, I get it. I now see. Okay.
Yeah, he's ripped this tree up and he's carrying an entire tree in his little feet there.
Very cute. And I love the fact that when I walked over here, I'm like, is that turned the right way? And it is. That's the way it goes. And John has a neat perspective on working with people. I have some of the art from the Short Center in my house, and I love it.
Yeah.
And that's such a conversation piece. He's a teacher there, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And John's been doing this style for about 20 years. And 20 years ago, nobody worked like this. Nobody worked in the bright poppy colors. Nobody used this really eccentric imagery.
But look at that. That color is so real.
Yeah, no, and he gets very painterly in here, where he's got them all blended and that sort of thing. And we all know this is not a, actual real bird.
Well, it's really, really pretty. And it reminds me of some of the colors that you would see in a parrot.
Yeah.
It's just a neat bird. This is Juggling Act. $200 bid we need for this retailed piece at $700. And this is by John Stewart Berger, and as I said, he's
shown everywhere.
Great artist.
He started at a very young age and showed at the Michael Himovitz Gallery back in the 80s. That's where I met him. He's shown with the Crocker. He's shown at numerous galleries around town and in the San Francisco area.
Great.
So he's a real up-and-comer, and this is a really fine example of his work.
So and I take that as investment art.
Yes.
Okay, so 1-844-584-3278. It's 844 KVIE Art. Or you can go online or tell someone anywhere in the country or the world, kvie.org/art auction, and tell them that we are your largest art gallery in Northern California for the entire weekend. We're going to go across the way for this beautiful Montana Peaks. Hey, guys.
Thanks, guys. We're here in the phone bank with piece 5C. This is Montana Peaks by Jill Estroff. A wonderful piece. We're always happy to have Jill in the auction with us. We have a bid right now of $275. Ooh, that just jumped up a little bit. I'll bet a bid of $300. Let's keep seeing these prices rise. It's a wonderful piece. It'd be lovely to have in your home or your office. Again, this is 5C Montana Peaks by Jill Estroff. Some other pieces we have available. Juggling Act is open for $200. And On the Other Side of the River is available for $425. Let's send it on back to Rob.
Okay, thank you so much. And I love the use of grays and blacks and yellow. And what's going on? Oh, there's a bid. Good. We're at $225, I'm just being told. And this tree
has been ripped up from the ground. It looks like it's bleeding a little bit. John has a bachelor's degree in art and his teaching credentials. So he is classically trained, and he's spent quite a bit of time unlearning some of the things he learned so he could paint from his imagination only. And I love that about him.
I love the imagination of an artist.
Each one of his paintings tells an entire story all on its own.
And that's what KVIE is. We are your region's storyteller, and we take great pride in that. Your bid, your getting involved in this auction gets you involved in helping our region as well. 1-844-584-3278. We're going to keep John's piece open, and we're going to move on to this next beautiful piece, which is, oh, it's so pretty, Dee. Look at the reds in this. This is the Palace of Fine Arts. It's by Kurt Hausman. It's acrylic on board, measuring 25 by 29, and the retail value on this piece is $840. Fantastic. Gorgeous piece.
This piece amazes me because he is using at least 6 different techniques to get the depth and the breadth of this piece. This is actual silver leaf.
Oh, wow.
And gold leaf.
Is that expensive?
It can be when you use a lot of it.
Okay.
He's used it sparingly, and I love that it has just a little bit of sparkle, and it's not overwhelming. This in here is all copper leaf. So you're basically painting with glue and real gold leaf.
Oh, wow.
Then we get into the traditional painting up here, where he's done the overlay, you know, the second painting, and then it looks like he's taken a sponge and gone over the whole entire thing to make these little trees that sit on top.
It's really
So that's
pretty.
what gives us that really nice depth to this piece.
And it also, to me, has an international look.
Yeah, Kurt Hausman has been in the auction quite a few times, and he does have that sort of real European feel to his work. He framed the piece, and he likes to pick, this is sort of a traditional European...
Look, how pretty.
Yeah, a European museum type frame with the gold leafing on the outside and the nice simple wood on the inside. It's just you could get lost in this piece.
Oh, absolutely. And I love when I look over at the monitor and I see the beautiful art, and the colors are so vivid, and they can be this way in your home. And all of the money...
Doesn't it feel like it should be in Hearst Castle? You just went there recently.
I did go in Hearst Castle, and that would be perfect there. And it would also be perfect in someone's home. And when you get involved in the auction, all of the money goes to your PBS station. We are the Public Broadcasting Service. We provide a service to our community, and that service is made possible because of your support. So let's check in with the phone bank and see how it's going over there. I love the action, guys.
We're having an auction here at KVIE, friends.
We are?
I'm so glad that you're watching. But I need you to go to the telephone and call up and become a bidder. An auction is a verb. Oh, did they just miss that?
Yeah,
An auction is a verb. So we need you to go to the phone and call 1-844-584-3278 and get involved in the bidding action. Your turn.
That's right. Okay, we want to let you know that we have ironed out all the kinks over 36 years to make this as quick and painless as possible. So all you have to do, give our volunteers, our very friendly volunteers, I might add, a call, and they will lead you through this process. And so all you have to do is call that number at the bottom of your screen, and let's hear more about the great artwork we have on display. Rob?
Guys, fantastic. We are back on this beautiful piece of art, the Palace of Fine Arts. It is by Kurt Hausman, and we see a lot of action on the phones because we can see the numbers on the screens for the bid. Dee, this is an $840 retail.
And worth every penny of it. Remember, these artists are professional artists. They show in local galleries. That means you would walk into a local gallery and this piece would be $840. But when you buy it here in our gallery, that's $840 that is going straight to PBS, a complete donation on the artist's part. They get no portion of the sales whatsoever.
That's fantastic that there is such a commitment to our community. And when you call in 1-844-584-3278, you help keep that commitment going and you join our team, and we're so grateful.
Start your family's art collection here. These are things that get passed down from generation to generation. I think art makes the best graduation presents, wedding presents. You know, it's a really nice way to commemorate something memorable in your life.
And you can write the special note on the back. I love doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to keep this piece open, and we're going to move over to this lovely piece. This is Green Damsels. It's by Susan J. Sylvester. It's 16 by 16 in size. It's encaustic. The retail value is $1,200. And this is a first place winner for Contemporary Classics. It is a beautiful piece. And Dee, I love the depth of the story behind anything with dragonflies and someone dreaming and someone feeling.
What's beautiful about this piece is she likens it to the old-fashioned fairy tale illustrations. And so she really is trying to tell a story with it. I love the play on words that they're damsels, dragonflies, which is sort of playing off of. It could be a little girl, it could be a fairy, you know, the way she's standing on the log.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then there are actually tons and tons
Oh my
of
gosh,
dragonflies.
look back there.
Yeah. So the way this is done, Rob, is see this really light scene that's going on in the background?
Yes, I do now.
That's painted on first, and then layers and layers of wax are put
that's
over the
encaustic.
top. That's encaustic. Today's word is encaustic.
We always have one.
We always have a word of the day. So then this image right here is painted closer to the surface. It still has, and you can touch it a little bit, it's pretty sturdy stuff. It still has that smooth wax over it.
So that's what gives it the depth, if you will?
Yeah, and it kind of gives it sort of a dreamy quality.
Okay.
You know, that you get the nice sharp lines, but it's almost as if, you know, they're trying to push through something. And I've always been a big fan of encaustic. Encaustic is done, it's a high melting wax, so it's not going to melt in your house.
So it goes on, that's interesting, it goes on wet and it doesn't actually, or hot, and it doesn't melt the paint.
No, and they do the drawing underneath and they do it in layers and layers and layers. That's why this dragonfly feels so much closer to the surface than this one back here.
Wow, every time I look at that, I see something different. It's just really,
There's a
really
whole
cool.
world going on in there. It's not just dragonflies. There's all kinds of beautiful flowers. The colors are gorgeous. It's got the greens and the turquoises.
Is that a hummingbird?
You know, I can't.
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, I
so
can't
many
really
people
tell.
say, especially if you've recently lost someone, that they see hummingbirds and dragonflies right after that many times more. And I think this is a special piece to honor someone.
I think so too. It's a beautiful piece if you know somebody that's just given birth to a little girl.
Opening bid of $300 is what we need.
I do believe we have that.
Oh, good, we just got it. You know, ask and you shall receive, right?
There you go.
So then let's try this. We need 10,000, all right?
This piece took first place in contemporary. There are 230 pieces that were actually in the competition because the masters don't compete.
Okay.
And only 5 first places were chosen. So that's 5 out of over 200, and this is one of them.
Wow.
The contemporary juror, who was Micah Crandall-Bear.
Love Micah.
Yeah, you're very familiar with Micah's work. It took him a long time to narrow it down, and this was the piece that he chose. And I was like, right on, Micah, because this is one of my favorites in the
We have Micah in the
auction.
collection coming up this weekend. Also, this is Green Damsels, and we're going to check in with the phone bank and get an update from across the way. Hey, Steve.
Thanks, Dee and Rob. We are here in the phone bank having a blast. Everyone is on the phones, and it's happening because of you. You're seeing something that you like, you're picking up the phone, and you're giving us a call in support of the arts of our region and the support of KVIE Public Television, your community station. Continue to call us, please. 844-KVIE Art, that's the number to call, or 844-584-3278. Please do it now. Keep showing the love. We're having a great time here. We can't make it happen without you. Tonight's volunteers are HPE from Roseville, Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. They come back every year. They're good friends of ours, and we are having a blast. When you call to support KVIE, you're supporting great programming like Downton Abbey, great programming like This Old House, whatever your fancy, we have it all. We're your community public television station, and that's what we want to deliver to you. So stay tuned because there's more art coming up in the next half hour in the KVIE Art Auction.
At Crow & Decker, we are proud to support public broadcasting and the local arts community. Crow & Decker, serving the needs of businesses throughout California and the United States. Proud supporters of public broadcasting.
KVIE is committed to the visual and performing arts through national productions like Poldark and Victoria, to our local production of KVIE Arts Showcase and the KVIE Gallery, now in its third year of celebrating award-winning auction artists and California Masters. KVIE's commitment to the arts stays strong because of your participation as a donor and art buyer. Thank you for being part of the KVIE Art Auction and for making art a part of your home today.
Stay tuned for Contemporary Classics coming up next on the KVIE Art Auction. Juried by Brenda Louie, this category features abstract and non-objective works in all media. View all of the art featured in this year's auction at kvie.org/art auction.
Hey everybody, this is so much fun tonight. Look at all the people in the studio. Thanks for coming. Hello, I'm Rob Stewart. We're back for tonight's final half hour of live auction excitement in the 2017 KVIE Art Auction. And in this half hour, we're featuring our contemporary classics. And now here's an overview of the art that will be up for bid during this half hour. Take a look. We have beautiful pieces. This is Oak Creek, and it is by Cassandra Reeves. This is a mixed media, measuring at 20 by 20. Nice size, valued at $350. Our next piece is 6B. It's Coffee House. Oh, that's really cool. And it is by Kathy Dana. And this is acrylic on canvas, measuring 22 by 22. And it is archival gallery framed, and it is retail value at $1,000. Item 6C is Fragile Wings by Marcy Cervantes. A beautiful piece that is acrylic on canvas measuring 20 by 16. The retail value is $300. The next piece is 6D. You ready for this name? Transcranial Magnetic Stimulation. Okay? By Craig Schindler. This is mixed media measuring 36 by 24. Say that 5 times fast. Retail value is $400 for this beautiful piece. Item 6E is Coordinated Life by Robin Wallace. And you could hang Coordinated Life next to while you figure out your transcranial magnetic stimulation. Okay? By Robin Wallace. This is pastels measuring at 18 by 22. Retail value is $300. What a beauty, that bug right there. And then 6F is Untitled by Emily Elders. This is mixed media. This one measures at 14 by 21, and it looks bigger there. It's beautiful. It's archival gallery, and it's a retail value of $225. More on those pieces are coming up in just a minute, but we're going to begin with this one and as well as this one right here. Our art curator, Dee Oldham Neath, and she is going to tell us all about this category that you hand-selected for contemporary art.
Again, we kind of wanted to liven things up and do a little bit of modern stuff towards the end of the night, kind of make us all up. This is Cassandra Reeves. She is a local artist here in Sacramento. She has a real spiritual involvement with her work, so it has a tendency to be very organic.
Look at the multi-layers on that.
Yeah, it is made with handmade papers that she has torn and made into the imagery there.
Is this a shadow box, by the way, or shadow frame?
Yeah, it's got a deep shadow box on it because it actually has bits of wood and real leaves in it. It's a very modern collage, and it's a very meditative piece.
Absolutely. I love the fact that it's multi-layered, and is that real bark?
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, everything's
And
been,
a leaf.
Yeah, there's quite a few leaves in here. And what I like about it is because she's done it with torn paper, you feel the artist's hand in the work.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I like that sentence. You can tell that the artist's hand is in this piece.
Yeah, it's not really contrived. She lets some of this organic material be the shape that it is, and then she works it into the piece.
Fantastic. And there you see the piece on the screen. This is Oak Creek. $350, and we're looking for a starting bid of $100 on this piece. The hand of the artist, there you see in the shadow box of this beautiful piece. And how do you get all this together, stuck together?
Usually the artist uses a thing called Yes Paste, which is an archival paste
Yes
that
Paste.
holds everything together. I'd also like to note that she's the wife of Kurt Fishbeck, who is a very well-known photographer.
Absolutely.
So they spend a lot of time trooping around in the outdoors when he's doing his photography. And
An artist family.
And yeah, and she's being inspired for her work.
That's such a beautiful piece, and her house is clearly filled with artists, and many people watching right now, their homes are filled with artists. This would be beautiful in maybe a country area home, or someone who is going through a journey in their life with the beautiful forestry. I do have to say, speaking of families and art, I just got a text from Glenda Corcoran, and listen to this. Look at this picture. Her daughter Dylan is 10 years old in 2 weeks, and she is following in her guide. Her mama Glenda's letting her stay up late to watch our art, because she's already connected to art at 10.
And you know, the art auction is a beautiful way to learn about the local artists. It gives you a really good idea about the broad array of artists, even in this little group that we have here. You know, here we have an artist that's presenting sort of a traditional landscape, but Cassandra is using these organic materials and arranging them in a non-traditional way.
Okay, so does this medium last?
Yes. She has, that's why she shadow boxed it. These are actually Japanese papers and handmade paper that are made out of cotton.
Yeah, okay.
You know, I don't know if the artist actually makes the paper herself or she uses other artisan papers. But she's done a beautiful job and putting it back from the glass. The glass is not touching any of the pieces in there. So yeah, so you're not going to get any condensation or anything like that.
Nice.
But I
Beautiful
think it's
piece.
a real meditative piece, and I love that about Cassandra's work.
I do too. Anything that helps you find peace. Let's go across the studio for a check-in with the phone bank. Hey guys.
Thanks, guys. When you give us a call, 844-KVIE Art, you could take home a piece like this. This is Susan Sylvester's Green Damsels. It's first place winner in the Contemporary Classics category. It's a wonderful encaustic piece. Current bid of $475. We want to see that keep climbing, keep climbing. 500. Wow, you're listening. 525. I'm not that psychic, sorry. But it's an excellent piece, Megan. Thank you for holding it. Do your part right now. Support us by giving us a call, 844-KVIE. That is the number on the dial. Give us a ring. This piece could be yours, your home, or your office, whatever you choose. Let's send it back over to Robin D.
Thank you so much. I love that piece. This is Kathy Dana. It's Coffee House, item 6B. I can literally feel that plastic chair, can't you?
You know, it's got that really great, I hate to borrow David Lobenberg's coined phrase, but it does have that California vibe to it. It's got that great use of color and that big slash of light.
Yeah, you can feel the sun like you're at Temple or Pete's or something.
I know, I'm just
beaming
waiting
down.
for the coffee to get there.
Right, it's so beautiful. And this piece is a $1,000 retail. That's great with a $300 starting bid, Dee.
It's a beautiful piece. It's been put in a real traditional cherry wood frame.
Cherry, okay.
Yeah, it's kind of got that mid-century feel, and it's not even just because of the chair. The way the artist has cut in the horizon lines is pretty brave. You know, the horizon line is just not in the center, like you see in most still life landscape.
Oh, I
types.
see, yes.
The horizon line's way up here. You know, and then she's got these lines coming down like this. So it's a very modern piece.
Like the bicycle piece.
Yeah, like the bicycle piece. Very good.
Well, I'm trained by you. What do you think? So this is really lovely, and it takes you to a happy place, because everybody loves, or many people love, a cup of coffee to get things going in the morning, and that's usually a restart to a new day.
Well, and it's one of those pieces, again, where you make up your own story. Did somebody just leave the chair? Is somebody sitting over here and waiting for the chair to be filled? You know, there's a million different things going on. I love whatever this is. If it's bamboo in the background, or you know, it could be something organic, or it could be some sort of a fence thing. I love the shadows that she's got going on in here.
And the colors of the shadows.
It seems like morning to me.
$250 is the starting bid that we need for Coffee House, item 6B, a retail value at 4 times that amount, at $1,000. We're looking to open it at $250. And this piece, Kathy Dana specifically wanted it to go to PBS, your public broadcasting service. We serve our community, and you are a part of that. Dee, you, as we've said all night, and I love pointing this out, that you hand select these pieces. You had more than 800 submissions.
Yeah, it's not an easy process. We start in April, so it takes quite a while to put the collection
Well,
together.
actually, you do all year round, but you start receiving it. I mean, you work this year round.
I start the art auction in April.
Officially.
When I start taking, we call it intake, when we actually start taking pieces in.
Nice.
And we do it both in person and online. This piece came in online.
Really?
Yeah, the artist says she paints a lot in the morning. See, I'm glad I said morning because I was checking my notes.
Nice.
And she's really taken with morning light and how it's different from light at other points in the day.
Yay, we have an opening bid. That's fantastic.
And it's just gonna go
$250. And I think we're going to go across the way to Steve in the studio over in the phone bank. Hey, Steve.
Thanks, Dee and Rob, and hello again. Hello, Megan. Hi. Hey. We're here with Oak Creek. This is a wonderful piece by Cassandra Reeves. We have a high bid right now of $100. We'd like to see that continue to go north. Maybe we can get a 125, maybe a 150, maybe a 200, whatever, however generous you'd like to be. Keep that bid going. This is piece 6E, Oak Creek by Cassandra Reeves. So give us a call and bid on this wonderful piece. Back to Rob and Dee.
All right, yeah, I like those notes, and thank you. We're going to share what we were just reading in a minute. It's about the art. This piece is beautiful, Coffee House by Kathy Dana. Now we have more than one person, $275. We just went to 3. We're going to call it now in $50 chunks if we can to $350. Coffee House, retail $1,000.
All you mid-century modern people out there, they need this in their kitchen.
Well, the color's fantastic.
Oh no, that really bright orange in there against that blue backdrop.
And the blue, yeah. And oh, I see now when I'm looking at the television, the shadows you're talking about and the horizon line, how pretty that is.
Yeah, it's a really different twist on a really traditional subject.
That's a fun sentence. It's a traditional twist on a what?
It's a
well, anyway, it's a beautiful piece. And now this is beautiful as well. This is Fragile Wings by Marcy Cervantes.
Fun piece.
Yeah, and your selection for this half hour, the colors are so bold, Dee. And this is acrylic on canvas.
Yeah, and again, a gallery wrap painted all the way around.
Oh yeah, it's 20 by 16. Retails at $300, and Fragile Wings already has a bid of $200, while Coffee House is climbing the previous piece.
This is what we were just talking about. This piece was originally displayed in a gallery at Lawler House Gallery in Suisun City. That's what we were trying to figure out how to pronounce. Anyway, straight out of the gallery to PBS.
Nice.
And here it is available for you at the same price. It's got a retail of $300. The artist likes to work in acrylic because Marcy likes acrylic dries really fast. So once you put in your underlying colors, she can go back over it with the white.
Okay, all right.
And the bright outline. Again, more dragonflies.
So you said the white was after?
Yeah, that's added later. What I love is you've got dragonflies, butterflies, birds. There's also bird shapes in the background as well as dragonfly shapes in the background. It's almost put together as a huge puzzle.
I love how more is revealed as you look.
Yeah, and the more you look at it, the more you realize, when I first saw it, and maybe that's just me, I saw butterflies. I did not notice the dragonflies. I noticed the butterflies first.
And now looking at it on television, I see that some of the blues are actually the birds too. I see hummingbirds, I see butterflies, dragonflies.
Tons of dragonflies.
Absolutely beautiful piece. And again, the larger piece to that also has the imprint of those beautiful spring feelings.
And what's fun about this piece is it's a smaller piece in size, but it has a really big visual impact.
It does.
So if you live in a tiny home or you have very little wall space, this is a great way to create a focal point in a room using a smaller piece.
Nice.
You
I
can
like
read
that.
it all the way from across the room.
Yeah, we could see it clear across the studio here, and this is the largest studio in Northern California, so this is a big room, and we could see it. The Fragile Wings makes a bold punch. It's beautiful, and it has a bid right now of $200, while Coffee House is up to $450. That's good news. Fragile Wings is 100 away from a bell
And
ringer.
it's purposely unframed because, again, the artist has painted all the way around it. So it's got a very modern look to it. It goes on the wall nice and clean,
I
not
like
in
the
a
black
box.
bodies too.
Yeah, and I just, the white outline is very nice on the pieces. And the more you look at it, the more you notice, you know, the outline of, see, there's an outline of a butterfly up there that I hadn't
Literally,
noticed
and
before. Yeah.
every time I look at it, I see something different.
Yeah, it's a beautiful piece. Fun, 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 great in a kid's room. But like I said, I kind of envision it in a very small space that needs a good visual punch.
Okay, I like that. I like it when you can see something in your home a certain way. And this is a beautiful piece at 200. We're going to check into the phone bank and see where things stand across the way with an update.
Or not.
I think we are. Let's go, guys. Phone bank.
Hey there, I'm with Clayton Whitehead, one of our longtime volunteers. Clayton, what do you like so much about volunteering with KVIE?
Well, this is my happy place. This is where I come to make a difference in Sacramento. So for our viewers, you're making a difference by watching. For those calling in, you're making a difference by writing checks. And hopefully you'll get to take a beautiful piece of art home at the end of the evening.
Excellent. That is our hope, that you call in and you help us make a difference. You can do that by giving us a call at 844-KVIE Art. We just, I'm hearing right now that we just have a bell ringer. That's for piece 6C.
All right.
Fragile Wings. All right. Good news. Thanks, everybody. We're going to send it back over to Rob and Dee.
Fantastic. This one has a fun name, transcranial magnetic stimulation.
Say it again, Rob.
You say it.
Transcranial magnetic stimulation.
Stimulation.
I wasn't even looking at it.
You got it. 120. 120 is what we're calling for the bid. Actually, we have a 120. Retails at $400. This is mixed media. Oh, wow. I couldn't tell that, and now I totally see it. It's so cool.
Yeah, no, isn't it? It is a totally different piece up close. You don't even see the image up
No,
close.
I didn't, and I only could see it from quite. Oh, look. So there it is on TV, and I can totally see the face, but here you can't.
No, when we're standing right next to it, all of a sudden you notice that it's made out of layers and layers and layers of little honeycomb.
Oh, now I see that.
Yeah.
Because it really is different up close to it, I promise you. So
They're getting close now, yeah.
And now I get the name. So $400 for a retail. This is by Craig Schindler. Thank you, Craig. It's a retail of $436 by 24.
Yeah, it's a really good size piece. I like the fact that it's like getting two different pieces in one. You get the big bold image from across the room, and then when you get up to it, it almost becomes an abstract painting.
Does that work in any light?
Yes.
It does, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not just, this is the way that the painting is done.
Right.
Okay. Beautiful piece by Craig Schindler, and all of the money goes to help support PBS and your local station, KVIE. This is really, the colors pop so much, Dee, and up next to it I see the chicken wire look.
Yeah, no, it's that honeycomb pattern that's over and over and over again. This was created over a span of 3 years.
Oh.
He would leave the work and then come back and layer more on it. I always wonder how artists do pieces like this that translate from a distance. It's like, what do you have, an 8-foot paintbrush?
It's really, I mean, right? How do they see that?
How do they see it up close and know what it's going to look like far away? Obviously, it's got a beautiful face right here that appears to be really serene. And you've got this really bright, bright, bright background. But when I'm close like this, it becomes a series of almost little tiny paintings all joined together.
It's beautiful. Where would you see something like this?
I don't know. You know, I think since it's such a serene piece, it would be really good in a bedroom. It would also be really great if you had one of those big, you know, the big giant wall with just the one thing on it.
It really would.
Because it's a very commanding piece.
Would this work with any colors, any hues?
I think, it pretty much stands on its own. Again, it's that gallery wrap. It goes all the way around the outside. So the piece is not intended to be put in a frame.
Over 3 years?
Well, I think sometimes pieces evolve. People start on something and they put it aside. Then they pull it out again and go, oh, this is where I kind of want to go with this. The artist says that he likes to read books on technological advances. This one piece comes after a book called The Singularity is Near by Ray Kurzweil. And it mentions TMS, which is transcranial,
transcranial magnetic stimulation. And it's at 300D. Look. There's a couple of people on the phone. We are calling this one for a $400 retail for Craig Schindler's beautiful
And
piece.
so this is airbrush and acrylic on canvas. I know it's got this really slick feel to it.
It
that
does
almost
look
feels,
slick.
Yeah, it almost feels like it's a manipulated photograph.
Okay.
But it is done with airbrush.
Nice. Let's check in across the studio and check in with an update on the next piece with Steve.
Thanks, Rob and Dee. We have so many wonderful pieces of art here today, and you can do your part by giving us a call. I know there's something that you like. Give us a call, 844-KVIE Art. Claim your piece of art today. You can pick it up as early as tomorrow, and we're going to send it on back to Rob and Dee.
Okay, we're just over here chatting away about this artist because it is so neat to hear the backstory.
Well, and the artist is, like many of our artists, he has a master's degree. He's been an instructor at 2 different community colleges. These are professional artists.
Oh, yeah.
Again, this is gallery quality stuff. No posters, no prints, no reproductions in this art auction, only originals.
Absolutely
And this one
lovely.
is a stunner.
And it's right now at $350. By the way, Fragile Wings is up to $375. This one has a retail value of $400, and it is such a beauty, and I love that there are multiple looks to one piece.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep this open, and we're going to move over to the next piece. And this is such a fun, cool piece.
So Midtown.
It is. It's by Robin Wallace, and it is Coordinated Life. What a cool painting. It is gorgeous. And Dee, this is actually pastels. Wait, this is pastels. It's not a bit. That's gorgeous. Robin is so talented.
Yeah, it's part of a series that the artist did called Autofocus.
Pastels are hard.
Yeah, and this was a spot in her neighborhood. She would walk by every day, and this yellow bug would be parked in the same place. So here comes that plein air thing that you were talking about earlier, painting on site so you get the real feel of it. And she would often imagine what it would be like while she was working on the piece. She would imagine what it would be like to own such a cute little bug. And
So-
you know how I am about a Volkswagen.
I know you have a pink one. So, but it's a van.
Yeah.
So this piece, Robin did pastels. How hard are pastels, and why are they so hard?
You know, pastels are one of those things I would not have the patience to do it. Pastel is rubbed into paper that's got a real tooth to it.
Okay.
The problem with
hold it.
pastel is see how it's been set back from the glass?
I see that, yeah.
You even breathe on it and it moves. So say you get it all just perfect and you accidentally, Kelly works in pastel and we were talking about this. You're working on it and you accidentally brush your sleeve across it.
Kelly Raines, our executive assistant.
Yeah, if you accidentally brush your sleeve across it, you would wipe out half the piece.
Wow. Kelly's
That's why
phenomenal, by the way. I
it's
love her
framed the
work.
way it is, and it's set back. It's just a sweet little piece. I lived in Midtown Sacramento for years, and it just really reminds me, not just Midtown, but parts of Davis. You know, it's that small town, almost college-y town feel.
Well, you go through so many towns and cities, and you see this, especially in our region. It captures a moment in time.
And there's nothing more Californian than a yellow bug.
I love that. So this is Coordinated Life at $200 right now, and we're trying to get this piece up to $300 for the retail value.
Oh, look, transcranial magnetic stimulation is a bell ringer.
It is awesome. Congratulations to that bidder, but we're keeping it open, so you might want to keep the calls coming in for that one. Coordinated Life, $200. So Dee, you said that if you literally breathe on it, the pastel.
Yeah, that's why pastels go behind glass.
So how do you make it stay, or do you blow it off as you're painting? As you're doing it.
They kind of bump it off. This one doesn't look like it has a fixative. Most pastel artists don't use fixatives of any sort.
Fixatives.
Yeah, it's like a coating they put on it that darkens it. This one has the bright yellows and all that, so that's why the artist has framed it really nicely, very far from the glass. It's well protected. If any of the pastel does come off, it goes down in that little crack and you never see it again.
Yeah, and it's about a centimeter away from the mat. Okay, let's check in with Steve across with this beautiful piece by Schindler.
Steve. Hi, Rob. We are really excited about this piece. We have a bell ringer. High bid. $400. This is Transcranial Magnetic Stimulation by Craig Schindler. It's a really neat piece. Hope you're getting a nice look at it at home. This could be yours. Let's keep the bids going. $400 presently. 844-KVIE Art. Keep those bids going. Keep it going up north. Back to Rob.
Okay, thank you so
I
much,
made a
Steve.
mistake.
What?
I was just reading in my notes that she did apply a Grumbacher fixative to this.
What's that mean, Grumbacher fixative?
That's the clear fixative that goes over it. And the nice thing about the fixative is the painting is, or the pastel drawing isn't done when the fixative goes on. The artist can still go back in and rework over the top of it.
Nice.
That must be why because she's got some really bright yellows going on in it.
And I wonder if that was intentional.
It might be. It helps the pastel grip a little bit.
Yeah, very, very beautiful piece by Robin Wallace. And again, this is 18 by 22, and the retail value is $300, and that would have been pre-frame. Okay.
Yeah. Come on, you Volkswagen people.
All right,
It's
we're
cutie patootie.
gonna leave this one open because we know we can get a bell ringer on this one. It's been a great night here, and we are going to have our next piece,
Emily,
which is Emily Elder's 6F is Untitled. This is mixed media, measuring 14 by 22. I want to hear why you were excited just now. This done by Archival Gallery. Retail is at $225, $50 bid now. And so why are you, first of all, besides it's beautiful.
Okay, besides the fact that Emily Elders is just one of the best human beings I know. She comes and works here every once in a while. She does Chalk It Up.
Oh, yes. I know who Emily is.
She's got like 105 kids. They move really fast, so it's hard to keep track of them all. No, I think she actually has either 4 or 5. She has lovely children. She is a great mother. She has been an artist for years. I've probably known her for 20 or 30 years. She is one of the few artists who still does traditional printmaking.
Oh, okay.
This print was made by carving in to a linoleum block like they used to carve into wood.
Okay, but now I want you to clarify something because we talked about no prints or no...
Right.
Explain.
No reproductions.
Reproductions, okay.
Yeah, a reproduction is a print that's generated, like a giclée that's generated through a computer.
Got it. Okay, and this is?
This is a real print.
Got it. Okay.
Which means she sat down and she carved out the printing block, and then she has to do each color separately.
It's a print. I see.
So she applies the color that she's using onto the block, and then she puts the paper over it and runs. Sometimes they run it through a press. She actually uses a wheel to push the color onto it. So even though this is a print, and she usually does 5 or 6 of each image, each one comes out completely different. Because it's the artist's hand. We were talking about that earlier.
Yeah, literally, because she has to press.
Right. So each one, depending on how hard she presses it, that's how deep the color will come out. So first, it looks like first she did the blue. So she did the block with all the blue in it, and then she does a second block that she carves out, and that gets the yellow. And after the blue is printed, she puts the yellow over the top of it. So it's done in layers.
We're at 45D, by the way. We want to get this to 75. Keep going.
I love the waves. I like the use of the yellow and the turquoise is just a great combo. We did it in a bright white frame with this colored core mat.
I like that.
So the piece could just come out on its own. It's like a big ray of sunshine.
It's really pretty, and I love how it has such a message in it.
It's just such a hopeful, happy piece.
It is a hopeful, happy piece, and the sun she captures so vibrantly in that yellow, and the blues are fantastic too, Dee.
No, and she's just so much like her work. You know, she's very upbeat. She's very excited. She's a huge proponent of public television.
Good. We like that. $45 bid right now, and it's retail $225. We are on our last piece right here before 10 o'clock p.m., and we're going to check in with Steve in the phone bank. Hey, Steve.
Hey, thanks for all your calls tonight. 1-844-KVIE Art. A lot of art still available. Please keep those calls happening. You can also join us. Just a quick reminder, tomorrow the art auction resumes at noon. That's Saturday, October 7th. Check back in with us at noon. Meanwhile, keep calling. We have a lot of art available, and we are going to send it back to Rob.
Okay, we just have a couple of minutes here left, Dee. I think it's like 2 minutes. Tell me what you want to say wrapping up this first night, and of course, about this beautiful piece right now at $45.
We're going to end up with the Emily Elder's piece. We're starting off tomorrow with the short center work, some very special artists. It just gets more exciting as it goes on, and we start tomorrow at noon. We go all the way till 10 o'clock, and there is not a bad piece in the collection.
Fantastic. All right, we got to go. Thanks for all of the first action, yes, of the 36th annual KVIE Art Auction. Tune in tomorrow starting at noon, as Dee said, for 10 hours of live auction excitement, featuring 10 hours, featuring works from the Short Center, as Dee said, Differently Abled, Elk Grove Fine Arts Center, and the KVIE Gallery, and more. Thanks for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Big round of applause for our wonderful team.
Bring your palettes, gonna paint that sunset tonight. From the Marin Headlands to the High Sierra, gonna fill that canvas with light.